And then when we go and examine the backend records, what we find the result, what is the reason we find over there is the errors are because of data absence or format incompatibility or case sensitivity. And this is actually technically not playing any role, and we ignore this and then we dispatch to the next level and we invite a lot of questions. So whomever we have sent, having the errors as it is, those people, they also keep asking the same question to us. Now, when we go and explain to five different people, if I have sent the file to five different persons, then I'll definitely get tired stating the same thing again and again to five different people. And most of what is happening over here, my quality time is being spent by doing the same repetitive answer to everyone. So now the question is how to stop people asking unwanted questions, because what we have done, though we know this is not playing a role and we left as it is, that is the place we have committed a mistake. So what is the bottom line from the entire story, people, that whenever you come across this kind of data, the first duty of ours is to do the right treatment with those errors, to do the replacement of those errors with some kind of predefined text, either zero, hyphen, nil, not available, not applicable, anything. Then only you can stop people asking unwanted questions. But the question is how to do that. Well, in this case, if you look at in our data source also, there are so many places we have got errors. Now, objective is wherever the errors are there, we would like to replace the same with a text called NA. So how to do that? What is the first thing that comes to your mind? Find and replace, right? But when you go for find and replace, only one error can be handled at one time. But we have got varieties of errors. So first we have to make a list how many types of errors are there, and that many times we need to roll on this activity of find and replace. So this is again, Excel never recommends for that. So what is the best option? How to replace all these errors at once? Let's have a discussion. Just do along with me, please. Select your any of the cell inside the data set. Go for Control A. Then on your keyboard, press Control G, G for Gamma, G for Goa. So you'll be getting a Go to dialog box on the screen with Control G. There is a tab called Special. You can click that. And when you click, a Go to Special dialog box will appear. You will be finding that there is an option called Constants. So kindly select Constants on the left, second option. And having the selection with constants, what you need to do is you need to deactivate numbers, text, logicals. I repeat, having the selection with constants, please deactivate numbers, text, logicals. And then when you go and click OK, you will be finding just on your screen what is happening. Don't do anything, just watch your screen and tell me what is happening. Are you getting only those cells on
Cells are
selection which is
selected.
containing the errors, which are containing the errors? Only those cells are in selection, right?
Yes.
Now, keep your cursor aside, keep your touchpad aside, just type immediately NA. And wherever it is typing, don't bother, don't worry. But if you're really interested to know, look at your formula bar. Is it typing NA? Yes. Now, just hit Control Enter. So when you hit Control Enter, you will be finding all the selected cells will be replaced with the text, whatever we have typed called NA. But task is not over yet. Having the selection with those errors only, go to Home tab and color them. Why is it really mandatory to color those cells? Yes, this is the ideal procedure to present your data to the next level. And what is the significance of this color? You can highlight anything of your choice, no issues. But below to the data, you must put a legend stating that the yellow colored cells are nothing but the error driven cells replaced with NA. So looking at your legend, anybody, whoever is looking at your data, they can understand what is the treatment you have done with this. So this is for our right treatment of your errors whenever you come across in Excel, how to deal with the same. So kindly check, is it working? All the errors, have you replaced with NA and colored the same?
So all the errors are not getting replaced for me. May I share my screen?
Yeah. No, you are selected the no, 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 no. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Come out of that. Escape. Escape. Keep your cursor inside the data set. Hmm. Control A. Undo. You have, because some of the cases NA is already there. Undo. Just undo. Control Z. Undo. Undo. Go to that now. Data clean one. Hmm. Now Control A. Yeah. No. Control A. Yeah. Control G. Special. Constants. Numbers. Text. Logicals. Okay. Now immediately type NA. Don't click anywhere. Don't click anywhere. NA. Just type. Don't need to take the cursor to this and all. Yeah. Now Control Enter. You have gone for Enter. You should have followed the instructions. I said Control Enter, not Enter. Control Enter. Yeah. Now go to Home tab. Go to Home tab and color them with fill color something. Color them. And now this is done. And below to the data, you can put one line of statement that is called legend actual technically. That the error-driven cells are nothing but the yellow colored cells and replaced with NA. So this is how the treatment has to be whenever you are working with a huge volume of data and it contains the errors like this. All right, so I believe everybody is clear with our procedure, the treatment of our error-driven cells. Fine. Now, if you look at our dataset people, again, there are certain cases you find the blank cells are there in picture. You can see I'm highlighting, there is a blank over here, there is a blank over here. Like that, there are so many places we have got blank cells in place, okay? Now the objective is wherever the blank cells are there, we need to replace the same with a text called nil, N-I-L, okay? So how to deal with the same? So let's make a practice. Keep your cursor anywhere in the data set. Go for Control A. Now you tell me what is the keyboard shortcut to get go to dialog box?
Control G.
Control G, go for it. Now which option we should go for?
Special.
Click on that. Now, do you see an option called blanks over here?
Yes.
Once you select and click OK, you will be finding from the entire data set only the blank cells are alone in selection. Leave your mouse, leave your touchpad, immediately type NIL and hit Control Enter. And then final step, don't forget, go and Home tab, color those cells to put a legend in the bottom side. That the green color cells are nothing but the blank cells replaced with the text called nil. So this is how we have understood that whenever you come across a huge data set, how to do the right treatment with those errors and blanks and make it complete and present it across to the next level. So that's the story of our data clean one. Any doubt, any queries, any questions, feel free to ask.
Sir, is there any way where we can like find out a range like anything? We can select the entire cells and color only the cells which contains more than 900.
Yeah, that is there with the conditional formatting. You can select the data wherever it is of more than 400. Suppose I have got 3 digits more than 400. I can go for Home tab, conditional formatting, highlight cell rows greater than
No, no.
ready-made option.
Okay, okay.
So this is up to you, either a whole row or a whole column or the entire data set that you have to select and go for these options. Like this, less than, if you have got some two parameters in between somewhere starting and ending point, if your value is matching exactly with someone, then you have to go for equal to. If you have a sentence and in that sentence you are looking for a certain string, like wherever the weight is there of this weight word, WEIGST, suppose the word is there, I want to highlight that particular cell. So text that contains. And if you have something looking for the dates parameter, you can go for a date occurring between these two dates, starting with, ending with. You can go for this. And this is one of the beautiful information. If in a set of data set, if you are looking for multiple values, suppose it is there, or more than one entry is there, or is there any duplicate, please highlight with some colors. You can go for the duplicate values to identify. So these are the different options from conditional formatting, highlight cell rules. You can go for it. Okay.
So what are the other options in Control G special we have? Some precedents and some other things are there.
That is for auditing purpose. The moment you have the connectivity of multiple Excel sheets, sheet A to sheet 2, sheet A2 to sheet B, sheet 3, like that. The moment when we go for, especially in the finance related activities, profit and loss account, balance sheet, and notes to the balance sheet or profit and loss account, anything, we always keep connecting with multiple sheets. So the connections, if you want to track, so that is called your precedents, are all those things you want to check, then you can go for this. So wherever the corrections are there, if you want to highlight those cells only, you can go for that. Wherever the conditional formattings are there, you want to see those cells, you can go for it. Wherever the formulas are there, you want to see those cells, you can go for it. So there are the options. You can go for only some specific cells which contains your conditional formatting, formulas, numbers, text. You can go for those options, nothing else.
What about that row difference? What will that do?
Row, row difference. 1 minute, let me check. Row differences and column differences. Like when you have an array formula, so that is a different concept altogether. See, ideally, when we complete our formula, we end up with enter. But array formula always ends up with control, shift, and enter. And those formulas, you see the initial level and the end of the formula, you will be always be finding a curly braces, not a parenthesis. So those cases when you have the array formula in the rows or in the columns, you can trace them also. So those purpose, this row differences and column differences, these are very rarely in use. That's why we don't cover in our training program. But yes, whatever the most important thing, you will be definitely getting it in our training. Don't worry about it. And rest of things, as I told you, wherever the conditional formatting, wherever the data validations are there, and wherever the cells you are filtered out and you want to apply to the visible cells, all these options you will be using in your routine activities. Blanks we have discussed, constants we have discussed for the tracing the errors and replacing the same. These are called text-driven errors. You can go for it. And objects is nothing but whenever you have got multiple pictures or images or photographs of the people, those are called objects. Now, wherever objects are there, you want to select only those objects, you have to go and select this objects options. That's how it is. Now, coming to next, data clean 2. So let me take you through the data, what we have with us people first. Most of the time, what it happens, people, whenever you download the data from SAP or ERP system, though it is SAP 4, SAP 6, or SAP HANA, or SAP SuccessFactor, or though it is ERP of IBM or Oracle ERP, there will be two areas where you will be always be finding the trouble. What is that? The column which contains the numbers should not be in number format. The date will not be in date format. This is always on. So unless and until you clean up those two columns and rectify the same or bring it to the right format, you can't work further. So we are going to witness the same. So we have a ready-made data. Suppose say take an example. My boss asked me, Prabhas, get me the entire fixed asset register over here. So I gave my respective T code in my SAP. I generated a report having near about 1 lakh records over there. And the data comes in this format. Like we have got our asset code, the first column, then the asset description, you could see. Then there is a column called asset class. And this is what our first problem area. So you can see the problem, the column which contains the numbers Seems like numbers, but it is not complied with the number format. So now the question is, you can ask me, Ross, how did you come to know about this? This is nowhere prescribed. Yes, if you look at immediately on your left side of the column, you could see each and every cell top left corner. Do you see a green color flag symbols over there? So this is a simple message that this column data is not complied with the standard format. Number format is not in number format. Then which format it is could be general or it could be text. We never know. And if you remember, we discussed about certain formats yesterday. What are they? Can somebody recall that? What are the formats we deal mostly in Excel?
General, number, time,
Right.
date,
Very good.
currency,
Very
percentage.
good. Very good. So yesterday we discussed about all these formattings. If you remember in business maths case, I told you, right? So same thing. So now our objective is the numbers we have to bring it into proper number format. So now the question is how to deal with the same. No need to do anything, just stay focused. Our experts, they will suggest you, Prabhas, don't get worried. Select your data. There is a yellow color symbol. Click on that and go for convert to numbers. This is how people suggest us. That's fine. I don't say no for this, but yes, I don't recommend this also. Why I don't recommend this? First reason is this option will work like a charm only for the limited row items 10, 20, 30, max to max 50 row items. It will work fine. How many row items we have? 10 lakh or 1 lakh row items. If you have opted this option, you will be inviting the trouble to yourself. What kind of trouble? Excel not responding, Excel stops working, or Excel is restarted, Excel screen is grayed out. All these problems, some or the other, you would have noticed because of all this reason. So this is not the right practice, people, when you are dealing with a huge volume of data. So what I suggest is start working with me. Keep your cursor with your first value of your asset class and select the rest. Control Shift down arrow key. Then now the question is what we need to do. Go to the data menu. There is a very beautiful option we have called text to columns. Text to columns. This is since 1985 it is available and it has got very big uses in our routine activities, people. There are a lot many situations you can use this feature. Not only to just to clean up the data for data separations, also you can use it. For changing the data format also you can use it. There are many more uses of that. So for the time being, go to text to column and it will open with your text to column dialog box on the screen. You don't need to do any changes on this. Directly go to the finish button. And when you click that finish button, just see the beauty. All these green color flag symbols have been removed. And the data, whatever we had, now it is complied with the right format and it is expressive. So this is how we have got the solution for our first problem in our SAP records, how to bring the numbers into proper number format. Just check it out. Any questions? All clear?
So I
What
just
we
have one
did?
question. If
Please ask.
hello,
Yeah, please ask. I can hear you.
yeah. So if if you're doing this step and if the zeros are there before the numbers and we need that zeros. So
Mhm.
for example, if you're dealing with bank account numbers starting with zero,
Then you no
so
need to
if
do
we
that.
use
You
this,
don't need to do
zeros
that.
will
You no need to do that in that case. See, bank account numbers, though it is numbers, but any number starts with zero, that has its own significance. So we should not convert them into number format. Where this kind of things comes into place when you have the invoice value or salary amount or creditors balance, data's balance, expenses details, anything such related kind of stuffs only you should convert into numbers, not with any kind of material code, customer code, bank account number, anything you should deal with. Bank account numbers always has to be in text only.
correct. Okay.
Credit card number, debit card number, where it is of 16 characters, digits and all. you should always maintain in text only. All right.
Yeah.
So now let us go for our problem number 2. Come to the
No,
extreme right. Yeah,
but it is showing text.
it is showing as text. It is showing as a
Yes.
text. But the moment you go for application of any kind of formula plus 2, do you see the respective changes are happening? You are able to apply the formula, correct?
Okay, but
So you
in
don't look for.
if we go
No,
to
no, no,
home now,
that's.
it is showing text only.
I understood. I understood your concern. Since the data source was in text, as I told you yesterday,
Hmm.
if you are having the date format of DDMM, but you are sending to someone else for MMDD, and
Hmm.
the automatically what is happening, the Excel is capturing its own format of that system and it is trying to store the data. So that is the reason why the moment I download the data from SAP, it was in Excel, I mean spreadsheet text format or general format might be, I never know. Okay, but when I opted this method, I am making it ready for my rest of the applications. So though I look back my data in the home tab, it will be showing as text because the source data was text. Okay, but if I try to apply some kind of formula, am I able to do it? If I want to go for a total of this column, able to do it? Yep. All these things are
And
happening.
sir, if we are trying to do a VLOOKUP from a different sheet and the same number, for example, this 53020 is suppose an ID. And
Right.
if we are doing a VLOOKUP, will that work? Because if that is in a
Definitely.
number format.
Yes, it will work. Definitely it will
Oh,
work. It's not a problem. Now, once we have done with this, over here, come to the extreme right column over here in our year. So if you look at our year column randomly, any cell you pick it over here, it shows some kind of error called hash value. And if you look at the formula in that particular year column cell, there is a year formula already there. And in our day one, we have already discussed there is a ready-made Excel year formula, which basic job is to extract a year from a date. So now your formula is there, but it is depending upon the date column. And it is pretty sure for us that since my date is not in proper date format, that's why my year column is not fetching the value. Pretty clear. So let us go back to our date column. Keep the cursor in the first date value of the date column and select the rest. Now kindly look at the same and tell me what is the problem in our date column. You believe?
So dots are there instead of hash.
The hash is not allowed.
Slash.
Okay, you mean to say dash,
Slash
I
slash.
believe.
Separated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what. Ideally, the date separator, if you're looking at over here in any Excel file, how it is supposed to be. As we discussed, there are two different formats we follow. Either we can go for DD slash hyphen or dash mm dash YY. Else, I can go for mm slash DD slash YY. So basically, if you look at, there are two types of separator only allowed in our Excel date format. One is the dash or hyphen symbol. The other one is the slash, not the backslash, only forward slash. So if at all anything else is there, definitely this is not going to match with our proper date format. So in our case, if you look at, we have got the dots. So now the objective is how to bring this date into proper date format. So what you can do, people, go for over here again, the date column. After selecting the entire date column, go to the data menu and then go to text to column again. And once you go to the text to column option here, don't do any changes, directly go to the next button. So once you click the next button, you can see there are delimiters list is available. No need to change anything in the delimiters list. This is just for the understanding. Again, click the next button. You will be finding over here column data format. By default, it shows as general, but technically our data is of date format, right? So we'll go for the date. Now hold on there. Here, excuse me.
Can
One
you
thing
just go
you have
back a
to,
little bit? Just the
sorry,
back one, please. Should we check anything? The next one? Earlier one?
no, no. You don't need to do anything. This will be by default. Tab is there. Let it be. No need to do any changes on that.
Okay.
You have to only go for next. And when you go for next, by default, column data format, it shows as general. Okay. You got to change to date. And there you have to hold on. A very beautiful thing you need to understand, people. Over here, you need to focus what type of date format you have in your column. Is it DDMMYY or MMDDYY? So if I scroll down my column, I can understand that in my system, it is of DDMMYY format. So I have to ensure that in the next drop down over here, adjacent to date should be DMY. If it is showing MDY format in my system, I need to convert into MDY. So this is the only change you have to do very carefully. You have to observe what is the format you have, and then you have to give a sync of that. And since my date is of DMY format, I don't need to do any changes. And once I click finish, with immediate effect, my date will be cleaned. And based on that, my year column, which was showing some errors, now this is also cleaned. So this is how the beautiful options we have to clean up our data from SAP records. And we have to ensure that these two columns are complied with the standard formats and then we can work further. So check it out. Is it working?
So mine is coming as slash. So is it because of the settings?
Because of your control panel settings and user settings from the bottom right corner, you just see what is the date format you have.
Slash.
Yeah, that's why it is adapting your system format.
Okay.
First, ensure that in date column or the year column, is it still showing some errors in place? Just check it out. If it is there, do let me know. I can help you out.
So there's a comma in the year, comma after one.
Yeah, we'll deal that. We'll deal that. Don't worry.
Okay.
So can I take that, people? Everybody's clear with all these procedures, whatever we have updated so far? Any doubt? Any questions? Or anybody still having the error when you scroll down?
Sir, I was just having one question. So
Yes.
in one cell, I wrote both the formats, DDMMYY and MMDDY. So I use this thing which you showed right now, and when I filter it, it does not convert the to date. It's-
You can
If,
share the screen. What you
if
did,
I
let me
can
have a
share,
look.
yeah.
Yeah. You do that.
Okay, just let me know once my screen is visible.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, so here I've used DDMM YYYY and MMDD. So when I filter it, I am expecting to come in this only 2023
No, no,
December
no,
and
no, no.
both the values under this.
It will not work. It will not work in that way. See, when you are typing the data manually, it takes a different story. I understand your concern. So when you receive a data, you believe somebody has given me a data of DDMMYY format and XYZ, some other person sending me the data of MMDDYY format. So how I'll deal with that? This is what your concern. That's why you are asking
Yeah,
this question.
correct. Some reports, existing
Right,
reports we have, which where we have the that issue.
right. So in that case, what you need to do, people, what you need to do exactly is here you can't type it and show it the difference. You have to give me, I mean, you have to get me those data. And there, the option what I told you, going to text to column, and you go for the next, and then general to date, And from date, whatever your system format, MDY or DMY, you have to convert and then click finish. Uniformly, everything will be applied. This kind of things will not work because when you type it manually, automatically the values are different. Though it is of DD, MM or MMDD, the value will be different. So we can't take it and apply over here. Just get me that real-time data.
Okay.
This will work. If it is not working, we have got day 3 also. You can bring to my notice. I would help you out. Don't worry about it.
Sure.
Now, to answer your question, let me share my screen. See, I understood your concern, what you're exactly asking. I'll take you through a real-time data exactly. Don't worry. Just watch my screen.
So in regular work, generally what I do, I separate all the things into day, month, year, then convert it, and then it's a long task, I think.
Uh, it depends. That's what I'm saying. It depends upon the situation. Like, see, I'll tell you why this kind of problem is happening. Suppose I have got four plants in four different locations. I am sitting at corporate, and every day I'm receiving four reports from four different plants. Four different plants, four different people, four different types of data settings or the date format they're opting. Somebody is manually typing DD, YY format. Again, in the next cell, he's changing the format MMDDYY format. I can't help with that. So in this case, what we suggest or what Excel recommends, standardize a template, send it across to all the four units, ask them to follow this format. This is one. Second option, nowadays, people what they do, they don't use MS Excel. They load the data in Google Sheet and they ask people to load in Google Sheet only the data entry work. And once you receive it back, again from data Google Sheet, you import to Excel. So all these date related issues will be solved. This is how people nowadays follow the methods. But to answer your question, as I told you, there is you can see on my screen, work order date. I have got
Yes.
DDMMYY format over here and here again MTDYY format. So these are two different formats. Okay, so how to deal with the same, how to standardize this, all these things over here. Just bring it, select the data, as I told you, going to the data, text to column, and next, date. Now, suppose say I want to follow DDMMYY format. Okay, let it be. It's of DMY and all it is there. I can go and finish. There is no changes are happening because it's two different formats are combined together. So Excel is confused which format it should opt. So what you can do is again go to DMY format over here, but change this format. Instead of DMY, if it is there, go to MDY. If it is there, MDY, change it to DMY. This is the only change you have to do. And once you do the changes over here, then go and click finish. Now see, everything has come exactly with the system format, whatever you have. These are the real-time data. I mean,
Yeah.
that's why it is working. So if you bring me the real-time data, I will help you out properly. Just manually typing the data, it will not work.
Sure,
Because
sure.
that kind of situation will never come at all, exactly.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got
Mr.
it.
Prabhas,
Yeah.
I have not received that assignment file. Is it part
No,
of
no, no,
this
no, no,
or
no, no,
some
no, no,
other,
no, no, no,
some
no,
other?
no. It is just to give a helping hand to Samir the question what he has asked. So he tried to create an example typing manually data over there. I just gave the information how the data comes exactly. So I showed that information. It is not a part of case studies. Don't worry.
No, I just want to know, since you showed this assignment, is it part of some other course?
No, 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 no. That is for when we go to the corporate trainings. Like suppose say I do teach to the big four concerns and Tata Group, Vedanta Group, Aditya
Got it.
Birla Group. There for the specific target audience, we customize the model. We make it tailor-made for suppose say finance domain people are there. So we make it all the finance related queries and finance related examples, and then we deliver. If it is for the sales or marketing people, measure the target audience is sales or marketing people. Then we create the examples for the marketing department. So there, this kind of examples we keep creating for them, taking the real-time data, SAP driven data or something. And that's why that data was so helpful for him to make him understand. That's why I opened that assignment.
Okay, okay. What I'm asking is, can we also have some assignments? Or do we have an assignment sheet kind of a thing?
Assignment is not needed. You need to practice all these things. If you want to assignments, I can give it to you, but you have to do it from your own because I can't take this in the training because we have a very time-bound schedule and
Sure.
we have to
You
cover a
can
lot of
share it,
topics.
sir. We'll work on it.
Yes, yes, yes. If you are, I mean, if you are willing to do that, I'm very glad I can give you. There are a lot of things I have got in my inventory. I can share with you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. All right, Samir. I believe that answers your query. Whatever your concern was there.
Yes, yeah,
Okay,
cleared.
no problem. Now, coming to the year column, people. As I told you in the day one, in Excel, each and every data, they are recognized by their own formats. If it is a number, it should be in proper number format. If it is a date, it should be date format. If it is a percentage, it should be in percentage format. But if you look at our years, what is happening? It is having this kind of comma symbols. But comma is technically allowed only if you have the numbers or currency in place, not with the years. So how to clean up them? Just see, keep your cursor in the first year value and select the rest. Then, yesterday we discussed how to convert any format to general format. Anybody quickly? How to convert any format to general format? How to convert any format to percentage? Anybody?
Control Shift 1, general, Control Shift 5%.
No, Control Shift 1 for number. Control Shift 5 for percentage. That's good. You remembered. Control Shift 4 for currency. Control Shift 3 for date. Control Shift 2 for time. Control Shift 1 for number. Control Shift and tilde. Did you remember I told you about the history of tilde key, the infinitive key? Yesterday we dealt with the same to showcase
See the
control.
formulas.
Yeah, with control. Only control and tilde will show the formula, but control shift and tilde to convert any format to general format. And that is also I showed you, it is there in listed in our keyboard shortcut list. So practice is very, very essential, people, as I told you. So please do not leave the touch. You believe, okay, everything I can register, I can remember, but you will forget. So don't do that mistake again. As I suggested, whenever you step into the training program, please have a quick cover of all the topics what we have discussed in our previous sessions. So when you come to day 3, again, day 1, day 2, whatever you are going to learn, please make one time practice. You have got 1 week interval in between. Make use of that. Practice it. Whenever you have any queries, drop me that in that group, the query. Anybody voluntarily willing to answer also, you can step in and answer, no issues. That's why that group is being designed, not to just to put a text stand over there and having your checking concern. Everything you can discuss over there. All right. So control shift and tilde. If you go for application of the same, it will convert our data to general format. So any format to general format. Control shift tilde. The way you do right click, going for format cells. Again, we go for general. This is with the help of mouse you do. If you are willing to do, it's up to your choice. I'm not forcing you to learn keyboard shortcuts, but yes, if you're interested to save your turnaround time, keyboard shortcuts are essential. Now, coming to next, data clean 3. All right. So here, let me take you through the data first. Let me give a beautiful story so that everybody can connect with it. Sometimes what it happens, people, we need to work with different platform data. Like sometimes we receive our data in MS Word, we receive our data in PDF format, we receive our data in SQL table format, or in MS Access database format, or in .csv format. So a lot of platform we deal with and we receive our data in different formats. But what's the beauty is, if you look at in the other format, other platform, the data seems to be well organized, well tabulated, well designed. But when you copy that data and paste in Excel to do further analysis, our problem starts. What happens? The data scatters immediately and it's spread across the entire worksheet automatically the row height will increase, column width will increase. We have no control and no idea why this is happening with us. Some or the other, you would have noticed this kind of situation, people. Yes or no? If you know you have never faced, that's what I say you are one of the lucky guy. But most of the time it happens with us. So this is one of the situation like this. Okay, let's go for the discussion. Please try to understand what is the data we have. So I'm taking again two names from our group. Okay. Say, take an example. Our friend Samir has started working in his laptop, opening a bank portal, and he is working with the bank data. So bank name is there, bank account code is, bank account number is there, bank code is there. And it is well designed, well tabulated, well formatted, and he has exported all this data to a Excel file or spreadsheet application. And he has closed that bank portal. He comes back to the Excel and he realizes that around 10,000 records it dumps into a single cell like this. Everything, bank name, bank account number, bank code, everything dumps into a single cell. So having said this over here in this format, when the data it is there, our friend Samir, he thought for a while this is not his cup of tea. Then he called his best teammate. And who is his best teammate? Suppose say our friend Ritu. Now Samir called Ritu and he asked, Ritu, could you please help me out on this? I just want only the bank code alone in the next column to be populated. I have the data like this 10,000 records. Just get me the bank code alone in this format. So now, if you have understood the whole story, let's start working with our friend Ritu. So Ritu, what's your plan of action for this?
Sir, I don't know exactly, but I have seen this before. There is a command wherein the text and the numbers can be separated, the cells can be split somewhere around, something like that.
Okay,
With the one
okay,
single command, there'll be two columns with two separate. One is the text, and the other will be the account number, name, and the
okay,
account number code.
okay. But here only the bank code is required. So
Mm.
how to deal with the same then? Anybody being a friend to Ritu would like to give a helping hand? You are welcome.
Extract
s-
extract starting with A N.
Starting with AN, but all the places AN is not there common, right? Is it consistent? No.
No, but all the bank codes are the last part.
Yeah.
So we can extract from the last to so many number of characters.
Okay. So you mean to say we have to go for a formula called write and taking the data from the right side, how many characters you want, I can go for it. Suppose my bank code, if I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if I
Yeah,
go
something
for
like
this,
substring or something. Yeah.
okay, we got it. Now, if I go and apply the same, do you believe that this is going to work? How about this?
Sir, we can go for text to columns and then select
Okay,
the
this
space.
should work.
Space
Okay, so
all
Mukesh is, yeah, Mukesh, I got it. So Mukesh is saying that we should go for selection of the data. We go for text to column, and there is an option called delimited because the data is being separated by space, and each and
yes.
every data set, if you see, after the last space, we have the bank account, bank codes. Well, we can go for next. Instead of tab, I can go for
Space.
space, and the data is separated. And when I go for it, what happens? The bank code somewhere in column G, somewhere in column H, somewhere in column F. Again, I have to keep working with each and every row item. I will not get it a clean data over here as it is. So though the data, I mean, it is helping me to separate the data, but my job is being tedious again. So this is also not working. Neither right formula nor text to column. Yes. Anybody else would like to give a helping hand? Anything? So Ritu, what's the choice? Nothing is working. So
Yeah.
copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. This is the only way out. Imagine 10,000 records. How long it will be taking for you to do a copy paste task?
More than an hour, maybe 2 hours, 2, 3 hours, or maybe
2 hours.
half a day.
Okay, half day. For the safer side, consider
What
half a
if it
day.
is a recurring task?
That will decide.
I'll
Mm.
deny to work on it.
Okay. Samir, do you have that much of patience of 4 hours to wait for this report to generate?
No, it's actually not possible for so many 10,000 rows.
Right. No, I mean, Ritu is telling that she will take 4 hours to complete this, but do you have that much of patience to wait for 4 hours?
No, 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 not
Not
at all.
at all. Bosses, what they say? 4 hours, they will be looking at you in the frowned eyes. What is that you are going to do with 4 hours? Do it in 1 hour max. So can Ritu ask a question in return to Samir? So Samir, why don't you do it once in 1 hour? Let me also learn something from you. Can we ask this kind of question to our superiors?
No,
No
that is
way.
also not possible.
So we have to be ready for the consequences, isn't it? So we can't dare to do this kind of task. Now imagine people when our friend Samir is not convinced with the answer, but he has no other choice because his best teammate is asking for 4 hours. And what happens now? The result is the KRA report is negative. Productivity is having a question mark. And when KRA report is negative, that will be giving an impact to your appraisal system also. This is the kind of chain reaction it happens. Now imagine that entire 4 hours of task, if I able to do it in just in 10 seconds. Yes, 10 seconds. How much of quality time we can save? A lot. How much your productivity is going to be increased? A lot, isn't it? So let's see now how to do it. Just 1 minute, watch my screen first. See, I have cleaned my column C first of all, whatever I had. I have gone to column B. I could notice that when I look at my data, that each and every statement at the end of the statement, the last phrase is about my bank code. So this much consistency I have, no problem. I'll go to my first case at least. I will select my bank code, whatever I have. I will copy that. I'll go to my next column. I will paste it. And then on my keyboard, I'll simply press a keyboard shortcut naming called Control E, that is called Flash Fill. It's a beautiful one of the artificial intelligence tool of Microsoft Excel, and it is there available only if you are there in 2013 and above versions of Microsoft Excel. Earlier it was not there. Okay, so this is called Flash Fill. Control E. Check it out now.
Sir, I
Is it
lost
what?
my connection in between. So we just have to do Control E after doing a copy paste
Yes.
from the first cell
Yes.
in
Yes.
C4.
After pasting it, Control E.
And when we do Control E, we have to do Control Shift down arrow key also. It will
No, no,
automatically
no,
go.
no, no, no. It will go to the exactly the end of your entire data set. If the data
Okay.
is in a contiguous cell.
Okay. Just.
So Control E, kindly confirm, is it working for everyone?
Yes.
Right. Now can you imagine your text to column right options where they are failing? Control E is working like a charm, a simple keyboard shortcut. Now you must be thinking, Prabhas, okay, this is called keyboard shortcut. But I am a bit doubtful because I'm a bit afraid of the keyboard shortcuts. I have a belief system that if I unless use this, I may forget the keyboard shortcuts. Can you help me out in the ribbon menu? That will be a bit more clear for me and I will not forget. Well, if that is the case, you want to explore where in the menu ribbon options I do find this flash fill, I'll tell you. If you go to the home tab in our fill option, there is an auto sum or sigma option below to that fill is there. In this fill, you have an option called flash fill. So Home is the menu. Group is the editing. Within that, over here, you will be finding called flash fill over there in the fill group. This is the location number one called flash fill. The other one, if you look at going to the data menu also, you will be finding an option called flash fill next to text to column. All right. So where we get the same in our ribbon menu also, we got the basic understanding. Any doubt, any queries so far?
Sir, what is the logic on which it is working? Flash fill.
That is what you can't predict the logic. It is an artificial intelligence tool and the logic differs from case to case. But yes, for this particular set of data, what is the logic it is applying is when we go for copying and pasting the data, it first establishes a relationship that after the last space, whatever the data was there, I should pick it up. And the same pattern it is filling towards down. Excuse me. But this is not the standalone logic. It will differ from case to case.
For example, if there were a lot of spaces, for example, before Australia or before national or before the, and if we removed these spaces from the first cell and copy pasted, and then we would have used the flash fill, would have it would have worked on that logic.
See, that is what I'm again saying. I can't predict it. I have to see
So
the
how
whole
we
lot
will,
of data.
sir, then how we will be sure where to use this shortcut?
That is what, when you have a data, at least the data will be having some consistency.
Hmm.
Like, see, when it is a system generated data, don't try to correlate somebody is trying to type the data manually, like a narration column. It will differ from case to case, user to user. I can't predict that, okay, in narration column, can I extract some data? But yes, if you have got some invoice details, invoice numbers, your purchase order number, your customer code, employee code, this will be always be having some standard format in any organization, you name it.
Yes.
So that is called consistency. So any data where you have some consistency, Flash will create a pattern, and that pattern, if it is matching with your requirement, that's done. What else you need? So you have to take some random data, you have to pick it out. Now I have got 10,000. I cannot go and check all the 10,000 records to ensure that my data has been extracted properly or not. I will just go and randomly check 10 to 15 cases, some two, 3 cases in the beginning, 3 to 4 cases in the middle, again 3 to 4 cases in the end. If I am successfully getting my data, I believe this is working fine. So this is just extracting the data. It is just creating a pattern and that pattern is being filling down and filling up. So flash fill is nothing but fill up and fill down. It's not necessary that I should copy paste the first data alone over here. See the beauty. Somewhere I go and pick from here. Okay, I'll go this somewhere in the middle. I will take my bank code, copy. I'll go and paste. When I go for Control E, can you see it fills up and fills down as well? All right. So it's not necessary that I should go and start from the data from the beginning. I can somewhere go in middle. If the data is in contiguous form and whatever the data we have picked up, if it is creating a pattern, that pattern is going to fill over here. Now to answer your question, if you look at certain cases, this is extracting the numbers. Can you see that? I'm highlighting serial number 10, 11, 12. Why it is taking the numbers? Because it doesn't understand which is bank code and which is bank account number.
Mhm.
So what happens over
Bank
there?
code
If
is
you look at,
missing.
yeah, since the bank code is missing, it has just filled the pattern. So what we have taught him that after the last space, whatever the data is there, you have to pick it up. So it did that. Excuse me. All right. Hope you are getting some idea. I'll be making it more clear. Don't worry. But what is flash fill? How to use it? Did you get this much of understanding?
Yes.
Right. Now, coming to the next question. Can I use flash fill wherever I wish? For that, 4 rules you have to satisfy, which is very, very essential to know. I will take you through. See, flash fill rules. Okay. So what happens, people? Here, people go through the YouTube recordings of someone and they believe, okay, oh, wow, we got something different and we learned something. But none of the YouTube channels will be finding that flash fill rules ever somebody express about it, because they don't try with multiple data sets. And now, whatever the rules I'm going to take you through, very, very essential. Please stay focused. Rule number one, what flash fill suggests is, let me first complete the rules, then I'll ask you the question. Don't worry. If you have any concerns, you do let me know. Don't need to keep typing and all. Just understand first. Ensure there is a blank column, okay, next to data column. What does it mean? First, let's have an understanding. See, if my data is in column B, ensure column C is blank. If column C is also having data, create a blank column, insert a blank column. That is what we talk about. Ensure there is a blank column next to data column. Is the rule clear? Yes, no?
Yes.
Right. Now, rule number two, after flash fill, make paste special values. What does it mean? Once I have extracted with flash fill, I need to select, copy. I need to right click upon that, paste special. I need to go for values. This is mandatory. Why? If you do not do this, even though you have saved your file, tomorrow when you try to reopen, what will be happening? The flash fill extracted data will change the values. So this is the reason why, to safeguard all the values, whatever you have extracted, do not forget to make paste special values to neutralize the flash fill operation. And once you do this, rule number two, you need to satisfy. So kindly confirm rule number two is also clear.
So what is the first one? I can't see beyond blank column.
No,
Ensure
after
there is a blank column
suppose,
before the, yeah, no.
no.
In the
Your data
rules,
is, that is what I'm saying. Forget about this. Our data is in column B, correct?
yeah.
Column C must be blank.
Oh,
If
okay.
column C is also containing data, you need to insert a blank column.
Okay.
That is what the rule. I will type it, I will paste it in the chat box, don't worry.
Okay.
Now, rule number three, create data header or design data header after step two only. Very, very essential, need to know. See, what does it mean? Say, take an example. What I did not do any operation. First, I go and create my header called bank code like this. And then I started to extract my data by using flash fill. It will not extract the data properly. The reason is the header will be treated as a base data for flash fill operation. And based on this, flash fill is going to pull out the data, which will not exactly matching with our requirement. So this is the reason why always go for creating the data first, then make it paste special value, and then go for creating your header naming called bank code in the third step. That's why we call it as the rule number three, create data header after step two only. So step two, what is that? Making paste special values. Then only you should go and create the bank code header. The rule number three, is it clear when to create the data header? Not to initially, but yes, after step two only. Okay. Any difficulties in understanding rule number three?
Got it.
Right. Now, rule number four, ensure there is no formula over data column. not over, I can say on data column. That will be more clear. On data column. Data column in the sense, like column B, we are having the data. In this column, none of the cells would contain the formula because we create so many formulas like VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, we apply, we get the data. And from this, again, we try to apply a flash fill in the next column, it will not work. So you have to ensure that this column, source data column, should not contain any kind of formula. If at all it contains a formula, you have to first make copy paste special value, and then you should go for flash fill because flash fill doesn't work with your formula driven cells. That's why the rule number 4, ensure there is no formula on data column. So these are the 4 rules, people, very, very essential. Always keep in your mind whenever you go for application of your flash fill. So I'm just copying and pasting the same in the chart box. Okay. So if at all any rule is not clear, do let me know. I would help you out again. All right. So flash fill, some basic understanding. Now, I'll take you through where else you can use flash fill to make your job easy. This is really one of the beautiful tool Microsoft has ever designed, people. And as I told you, this is one of the artificial intelligence tool. And as long as the data is in consistent format, 90% cases, this will work like a charm. Now I'll take you through one more place where you can use this flash fill. Just watch my screen. No need to do anything. Just watch my screen. See, most of the time what it happens, we receive our employee names, customer names in this format, like first name in one column, last name in other column. Sometimes people demand, if it is a name, why don't you combine this? And what is the best options for that? To combine the multiple records or multiple strings or multiple cell values, what we do? Anybody?
First name cell, ampersand, and second name.
There is a formula sometimes people refer called concatenate. You would have also come across, or somebody would have suggested you. Don't go for this. This is a lengthy formula, but yes, we have an option. Else, to overcome that, to make your formula crispy, we can go for equal to first name, ampersand. We can go for last name otherwise, but that will combine the data, no doubt, but it becomes one word. Technically, Hari and Sadhu, two different words, so we need to have a space. So what we do, equal to first name, ampersand, we need a space. So a space is a character we should define within two double inverted quotes. Then again ampersand to last name to combine with, and we got our data combined. This is how the best options so far we have come across, or people have suggested us, or we have learned from our own experience or practice. Do you agree?
Yes.
This was the best option, people, till yesterday. If you are working with the upgrade versions like 2013 and above, see all these things, you no need to really take a headache of that. Just see, we have got first name and last name. What I can do, I'll go to the next column. I'll type Hari space Sadhu. One instance. Now immediately Control E. Can you see? Everything has combined. A simple keyboard shortcut. No formula, no function, not making my file size heavy, not I'm spending much time even. So this is called flash fill, nothing but the pattern fill.
Sir, can you repeat this again?
Yep.
Just, yeah.
Yep. We have got the first name in one column, last name in other column. I'll go to the third column. As I told you the first rule, next to the data, column should be blank. So I have gone for a column naming Hari space Saru and then Control E. See, in the formula bar, the new formula also.
Okay, got it.
So this is how whenever you have to do some kind of data cleansing actions, people, you can make use of these formulas. And as I told you, 90% cases, it will work like a charm. I'll take you one more example, which will be giving more clarity, where else I can use this flash fill. Just watch my screen, no need to do anything. See, especially the manufacturing sectors, you will be having a common problem about the BOM case, the bill of material case. It was a major concern since 1985 till 2010 version of Microsoft Excel people used to struggle. What is that? I'll tell you. Whenever you download your data from your stock statement or any other SQL table data you generate or Minitab report you generate, the material code comes with some unwanted data with leading zeros or post data, some suffix also along with some unwanted unprintable characters or zeros also turning up. And that dilutes our entire statement. Unless and until we clean up the data, neither we could go for a VLOOKUP, nor we can map it, nor we count the profitability of the particular cost center or project-wise report anything. It was very problematic. So in that case, what people used to do, they end up writing a lengthy formula. But see, now the beauty is, since we are working with the upgraded versions, if I have the unwanted zeros in the left, how to eliminate and get exactly the material code in the next column. Just see. My material code is also starting with some two alphabets, so somewhere one alphabet. If it is an old item, definitely I would have configured with only one alphabet. Now, if the stock statement, the value of items or the material code is increasing, then I would have opted for the new system of two alphabets. So whatever it is, one alphabet or two alphabet. But if you see a larger picture, it's a alphanumeric combinations of my codes. So I need to extract them. So what I can do is just say, I'll go to my first material code and I select exactly the material code, copy that, going to the next column, I will paste it. And simple, Control E, can you see? So even though the zeros are not consistent, somewhere it is 10 times, somewhere it is 8 times, somewhere it is 5 times, still I'm able to extract my data. So this is how people, there are a lot of places you can use this kind of flash fill operations, but for rules
Sir,
to be satisfied,
will it work for places where instead of zeros there are spaces
anything,
and
anything,
we want to just
anything,
remove the spaces?
yes, you can. Where it is not working, bring the data to me. I'll tell you what will be the right procedure. Don't worry. But I'm giving you, these are all real-time data. This is are not created. This is a system generated data or the report we have downloaded from SAP or ERP or some cases some tally reports could be the case. So that's why I'm showing the real-time examples. All these case studies, if you see, all are real-time examples. All right, so hope you got a basic idea about where we can use the flash fill operation. All right, can I take that? Now, question to our friend Ritu. Ritu, are you happy knowing this tool called flash fill?
Very much.
Good. Samir, what's your opinion? Having a teammate like Ritu who does the work with no time, are you happy?
Uh, I will say somewhat, but that pattern, like again, additional work need to be done because bank codes and numbers, bank accounts mixed.
Yeah, I mean, see, those cases where the bank account numbers are mixed, it's called, you have to clean up the data. I mean, as it is, you can't put the formula and get
Yeah,
done. You have to take this data again, Control C, you have to go to a new workbook, and you have to make it as paste special values. And then you have to go for the data sorting. And you have to sort your data with
correct.
column A, whatever we have, and A to Z or Z to A, you have to sort it and click OK. And whatever the unwanted
Remove
data,
the
it was the
numbers and
beginning,
only bank
you have
codes. Correct.
got the backcodes alone. So this is
Yeah,
what you have to do. Instead of doing it one by one, You could at least save some time, right? But this much of action you have to do anyhow. My question was something different. My question was having a teammate like Ritu who does the work with no time. When you asked immediately in 1 minute, she delivers all these things. Are you happy having a teammate like Ritu?
Yes, it will be good.
Who doesn't
Good
want?
thing.
Yeah, who doesn't want? All wants the
Correct.
efficient teammates, isn't it? Okay. Now, Ritu, we know one thing. When boss is happy, appreciate our work, what happens next?
We get good appraisals, promotions, good
Forget,
rating.
forget, forget about that. I told you yesterday, right?
Then
The
we get more
expectation.
work. Then we
Ah,
get more work.
yeah, be ready for that.
Exceed
The same.
expectation.
Yes, same thing happened. Now, immediately Samir's expectation has increased and Ritu's workload is also increasing. What is that? Samir is saying that, okay, Ritu, thank you so much. You brought me bank code. Could you please help me getting the bank account numbers? So what we were thinking of, if the data is at the end, we could get it. What if the data is somewhere in the middle? You would have thought something about this. So let's go and check it out. If my bank account numbers are there somewhere in the middle, whether the flash fill is able to get it. Let's give it a try. As I told you, rule number one, next to the data, column should be blank. Since it is not there, create a blank column. Then, going to the bank account number for the first case, copy that, come to the next column, paste it, and flash fill. Check, is it working?
It's working, but the formatting, the decimals and the formatting needs to change.
Then, how you are going to convince Samir on
I
this?
think the 0 is gone.
No need to go very far. Just go for the second case and tell me.
So format, we can change that.
Formatting, you want to change? What do you want to change on that? Let me know, please. So we mean to say you have to select again and what kind of formatting changes you want to do.
Values first, and then I'm not sure why it is coming at exponential.
Okay, okay. Yes. So you must have received the data in this format and we could understand that this is not exactly matching with our requirement because even though the account number starts with 0, that 0 has got its own significance and we must have that, which is actually missing. Then the question is whether flash fill is working, yes or no.
It's working in cases where it doesn't have a zero.
No, no, no. I'm not asking. Just I ask two simple choice. Yes or no.
Yes, it's working.
Okay, good. Anybody saying no? See, flash fill is working. That's why we just copied one data. Then it is able to populate the rest of the data, right? So it's working. But the output, whatever it is giving us, it is not matching with the requirement. So that we have to look into. But flash fill is working. So now the question is why our data is being extracted in this format like +11, +17, plus IE, all this kind of options, why it's turning up? I'll tell you. There are certain concepts again you need to understand people being an Excel user. Suppose say, take an example, if I go and type some data, just watch my screen, no need to do anything. If I go and type some data over here, can you read all the characters? Is it visible?
Yes.
So if I want to know how many characters I have typed over here, I can use a formula called len.
Len.
So I have got 10 characters and everybody is able to read all the 10 characters. Now, what if I increase one more? Do you see all the characters are visible? Yes. What if I increase one more? Now what happens? Can you see that? We are unable to
Started.
read our data. So what we have understood, When you are trying to type the data over there in Excel, and if it is a numerical value, it tries to store the data in number format. And if the data is being stored in number format, it can hold only up to 11 characters. If it is more than 11, then the data will be turning up into a scientific format, and we cannot read our data in this format. But now the question is, if I want to make my data readable, I'm not worried about whichever the format it is remaining, let it be, that is Excel's headache. I just want to read my data. Then in that case, what you need to do, people, whatever the data you have, you need to store, okay, with one apostrophe in the beginning. So anything you store with one apostrophe or a single quote, it means that it is trying to store the data in a text format. Can you see immediately a green color flag symbol is turning up in the left side of the data set? And if I go for this, counting the number of characters, can you see? Same characters. So this is our number format. This is our text format. So Flashfill, what is doing over here is it is trying to store the data in a number format. That's why we are facing all these challenges. Okay. Now, how to overcome this? Just say, if I go back to my first data set and I select my data of that bank account number, copy that. But when I'm going to paste it, I will go to first apostrophe, that is called single quote, which is next to the enter key towards the left of enter keys. Then paste your data. It will try to store the data in a text format. Can you see immediately again the green color flag symbol turns up? Then rest of the rules, Control E. And once it is populated, if you go to the second case also including zeros, it is turning up. Now rule number 2, after the data, once it is generated, copy that and go for paste special values. And once it is done, step 3, go and change the header bank account number in step 3 only. Of course, step 4 is not required. This itself, it is a message to us because flash fill is happening. There is no formula over here. So give it a try and check it out. Now you are getting your bank account numbers properly. Confirm, please. So if you have any question on your mind, feel free to ask.
So where to locate the apostrophe? Please come back again.
Apostrophe, it is there. Left side of your enter key, single quote and double quote is there. You have to
Okay.
use this. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you do it one more time?
Yes. Going to our data set, then selecting the bank account number, copying that, coming to the next column. First, go with one apostrophe over here. That is called single quote, and then paste it. And the moment you hit enter, it will generate a green color flag symbol. So don't be panic for that. Just keep a cursor there and Control E. And once this is done, you have to select the whole range, copy that, making it as paste special values and click OK. Then change the header bank account number.
Sir, is it necessary to give the header at the end? Before pasting it, can we do it?
No, I would suggest no, because that is what one of the rules. See, why these rules I have set it across. I have tried this flash fill options in more than 10,000 different types of data sets. And from that only, this research I have done, and I have found that if you follow all these rules, you will not be finding any trouble, because data will not be the same all the time. Headers will also not be the same time. Okay. So header will be different, data set will be different, flash fill pattern will be different, because this is one of the artificial intelligence tool. So it is always better follow these rules. You will not be finding any trouble. But there is no hard and fast rule. You can do that, but you will be facing a trouble. Based on the header, it will try to populate the data, and the data will not be matching, and you will be blaming flash fill. So bank account number, can I take that? Everybody's clear with it?
Yes.
Right. Now, if you feel that, okay, Prabhas, this is containing this kind of green color flag symbols that is really annoying, can we do something with this? Yes, we can. You can select only the bank account numbers, not the header. And in the left side, you'll be finding that yellow color symbol. Don't go for convert to number, go for ignore error. Go for ignore error. So all the green color flag symbols will be removed. So this is how we have understood that even though the data is there somewhere in the middle of the statement, and if it is still having some consistency, and our flash fill is able to create a pattern, then of course we can make use of flash fill. So bank code, we have received. Bank account number, we have got it. All right. So again, our friend Samir's expectation has increased. What he said, Ritu, why don't you get the bank name also? So now the objective is how to get the bank names. So you know now how to apply a flash fill. So please take 2 minutes of time and get the bank name over there. So bank code we received, bank account numbers we have received, now bank name.
I think few is not coming in required format. For example, the city row number 14, Citibank. City is only coming.
Okay. So Ritu has done. Ritu, so you are giving a confirmation that you have got your bank names properly.
Yes.
Okay, great. Can you please share your screen?
That was not me, it was Uma. I only got city.
Okay, okay,
I
I'm
got
sorry.
city.
I'm sorry. Because you have dropped me a message D for done. So I
Yeah,
thought,
so with doing Control E, I got the names, but yes, what
okay,
Samir mentioned, I only got city there, not bank.
okay. Anybody else has got the bank names properly? Could you please confirm?
Got names for some properly, but some of places bank details. I'm just sharing.
Well, Kumar Balu, would you validate this? I guess he's not there. Okay. So can somebody validate this? Can we consider this the output? Mukesh, what's your opinion?
No, sir, because it has left some of the values.
Right. So I can't say that partially I'm getting the answer, partially I don't get. This is not the right way to express it, right? Either you get yes or no. So now the question again arises over here, whether flash fill is working, yes or no. Yep. What's your opinion, guys? Geeta is saying yes.
No.
No.
We can say it's working, but we need to give it some pattern,
Right.
maybe.
So here again, flash fill is working only because when you copy it and paste it, this is trying to populate the data for rest of the cases. It is happening. But the output again, it is not matching with your requirement, right? But here, is there any workaround for the same? No. And why flash fill is not working over here? Though it is populating the data, but it is not bringing the results properly. The reason is, again, the consistency is missing. So how will I confirm that this place consistency is missing? Because I could see some random cases, data is not fetching properly. So this is the place called flash fill fails. Though it is working, but it's of no use. So if you remember, I told you 90% cases, as long as the data is coming up with a pattern and Flashfill is able to create that pattern and filling the pattern, your Flashfill will work like a charm. So 90% cases, it will be working fine. So this is one of the 10% cases. And why it is unable to create that pattern? Because the space, characters, whatever we have, the number of space is not consistent. If you look at Bank of America case, that serial number 9 for me, how many space is there? Forget about the bank code and all, just name part, you see only 2 space. But if you look at what the very first case, Australia space and space, new space, there are a lot of space. So this number of space is not consistent. If you look at this particular set of data, that's why it is unable to create that pattern. So where flash fill fails, what is the choice we have? We have to go for a formula driven result. So what kind of formula we should use, or what will be ideally the right formula? Let's have a basic understanding. Just watch my screen for next 2 minutes, try to understand what we are up to. So if you look at our data set, people over here, just see, this is our data, correct? Now, from this entire data set, if I remove my unwanted data, now the balance left over is nothing but matching with my requirement. Do you agree? Think like a layman. No need to have any extraordinary thought process. From the entire data set, if I remove my unwanted data, the balance, whatever it is left over, is it exactly the bank name?
Correct.
Yes.
That's what we are going to do. So now, if you look at what is our starting point of our unwanted data, is it a bank account number?
Bank
The,
code.
no. Bank code is not the unwanted data, starts with bank account number. Just see two. This is your bank account number, right?
Yeah.
So we need to first identify where is our unwanted data starting with, is a bank account number. So if I want to find out where the bank account number starts with, what is the position, then we have a very beautiful formula, people, naming called find. First, watch my screen. When I go for find, it asks me over here, what is that? Find text, what you want to find. So my unwanted data starts with number 2, that is called bank account number. Where it is there? So find text over here, bank account number. Already their bank account number we have extracted, right? Then find text we have fulfilled what we are trying to find. Comma, within text, where to find? In the data set towards left where the exact data is there. Now can you see it gives me a number. What is this number about? If you start counting the characters A as 1, U as 2, S as 3, like that, the moment you keep counting, when you reach to the bank account numbers first number 2, it is nothing but 27th position it is there. So this is called our find formula to find a certain character position over there in a cell range or cell character length. It will be giving a number 27. Now, if I go for double click on the fill handle, you can see depending upon the number of characters you have in the cell, the position is also changing 29, 25, 35 like that. So bank account number where it starts with, we got the understanding. Hope this is clear. Find formula. Find bank account number in the data. Can I take that?
Yes.
Right. Now, next 1 minute, just watch again. What is the next objective over here? As I told you, 27th position, my bank account number starting. Okay. Well, I got it. Now, what I'm going to do, I am going to extract certain characters from the left. So left formula will be helping me to ascertain or extract certain characters from the left. So this demands me text. Where is the data? Data is in the left, comma. Now it is asking how many characters from the left you are looking for. So starting from A, I am looking for till D, where the bank name ends. I need that only. But find formula is going to give me 27. So if I go for starting from A till 27 means 2 also is going to come up. If I leave the find formula as it is, what is going to happen? It will also include 2 over there. Just see. You see that? It also brings me 2. So what I don't want that 2. I don't want that bank account number's first number. What I want is just one character less than that. Simple logic. Now, when I go and close this bracket, let formula will be closed. Now, do you see exactly, is it giving you the bank name? Now, the same we can apply for the rest, right? So this is how people, where you believe your flash fill is not working, you can definitely go for a formula driven answers like this, left, right, find, mid, or search, or such kind of functions. So please give it a try and check it's working. Any doubt, any queries? Go with the same rhythm. First go for find, then go for left. All right. So I believe did I clean three the task what we did in the exercise of that using flash fill, the rules, and then how to use the formula driven results over here. All these things are clear, working for everyone. Any doubt, any queries?
The formulas are clear, but I'm not too sure why we're using this minus one. That portion alone, I'm not clear.
Okay,
Even though the two appears.
don't use minus one. Don't use minus one and close the formula and try to apply and see the output.
Okay. by default, first digit of each of the account number is appearing.
Yeah, why it is appearing? Because we try to identify with the find formula what is the starting point or what is the first character position of bank account numbers in the text. So wherever it is starting with 2, 5, 3, 4 of the bank account number, whatever it is, that position we get it through find formula. So find formula gives the result, the character position of the first character of the bank account number. That's why it is getting. So we don't want that bank account number. That's why we have deducted with one character minus then the find formula.
Thanks, now clear.
Yeah. All right. So with this, we have got our data clean 3 story completed. Then we'll go to our data clean or data fill. So here we have got two data sets, people. Let me take you through the first one first, and let's see what is the objective. Suppose say, take an example. My boss asked me to get me the entire revenue report. So suppose say I'm dealing into on FMCG, okay, and these are the products I'm producing and selling it to my customer in different outlets. So my outlets have in different stores, also in different cities. And this is the entire revenue report in terms of lakhs it is there. When I download this data, near about 1 lakh records, it is come in this format. And yes, yes, any questions? Okay. So when I download the data, this is having near about 1 lakh records in this format. And looking at the same, my boss is not quite happy. He's saying, Pravas, this data is of no use for me. Keep it with you. What I want to see is only the records related to the vanilla powder. So I am dealing with multiple products and I have got 1 lakh records with regard to multiple stores in different cities. My boss is not interested to see the entire data. He's interested to see only vanilla powder related records. So if that is the case, how to deal with it? How to present our information? What we need to do? Anybody?
Filter it.
Simple. So where we have to go and filter? Kumar, could you please just let me know?
Product description. Filter
Product
it.
description. Okay. So we should go for product description and type a filter over there. I'm going to product description. I should go for select all to deselect. I'll
Vanilla.
go for vanilla powder and click OK. So vanilla powder related records will be displayed. This is how we opt the filter and we get it done. No doubt. That's fine. So do you all agree with this?
Yes.
Location is missing.
Well, so if everyone is having the same opinion, okay, this is only the way we do, I would say if this is your answer, then we should stop doing that. Why? Is there anything wrong? No. We have to do filter only, but the amount of time what we have taken to apply filter and the procedure or the way we do filter is not acceptable. If a standard 5 student is learning Excel for the first time, if he is doing this job and he is opting this method, it's okay, but not like a professionals like us. So now the first question is how to do a quick filter. See, I'll go to my vanilla powder. I'll right click upon that filter selected by cell value. How long I have taken? Immediately. So can you see that? It's not necessary that we should go for always keyboard shortcuts to make it filter quickly. We can do with a quick mouse options also. Just see. Go to vanilla powder, right click, filter, selected by cell value. Is it happening quick? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes, working.
Right. So now, when I presented this data in this format, my boss is still not happy. Why?
Location is missing. Which
Sir, I
Yes.
didn't
location?
understand this cell value.
Yeah, cell value means the cell which I am picking up. It is containing a value, right? Value in the sense it can be anything. What is this? This is a value or not? The data, what I'm typing in the cell, this is a value or not? I'm asking.
Yes.
Yeah, anything you fill value only.
Right. So you do not consider that if I have only number, this is a value. No. Anything. It may be an alphabet, it may be a numeric, or it may be alphanumeric, or it may be a special character or a ASCII character. Anything is treated as a cell value. Okay. So now what we are doing over here, right click on vanilla powder cell. So this cell is containing a value. And based on this, when I go for filter selected by cell value. So in that cell, whatever the value it is there, it has to be filtered. That is what it is doing from the entire column. All right.
Yes. Got
Right.
it.
Now, the moment I presented this, my boss is not still happy because the store detail column is still missing. So can I ask a question to my boss in return, sir, why you are asking the job in installments? You could have asked in the beginning itself that Prabhas, I just need different store-wise vanilla powder related records. I could have done something. So can I say something in return to my boss like this? No. Now the first question, why it is happening with us like this? Because this is what the default nature of our SAP driven records. If you look at the month column, I mean the store detail column, if you look at the first row, it's containing the store detail names. Rest of the cells, it is blank in that column. So it's a simple message that these are the products related to Mumbai. You have to read like this. Okay, this is meant for reading the data, that's we have understood, but this data is not meant for the calculation. Unless and until the store detail column is filled with the ready-made store detail name, this data is incomplete or it is not ready for next level. So how to deal with the same? Just see the beauty. Start working with me. Keep your cursor in store detail column header. And then select the whole column. How to select? In this format, you can't select the whole column at once. The best option is to select the whole column when the data is not having a contiguous cell. Do one thing. On the right side, you could see a scroll bar is available. Take that to the extreme bottom. Extreme bottom. Okay. Can you see the last row? It is visible on the screen. Don't click, just check. The last row is visible on the screen. Okay. But technically, where is your cursor? The active cell. Where is there? If you see the name box, it will still show A3. Confirm, please. Is it showing A3, the name box? Now, having said this, take your mouse pointer to 63, that is A column 63 row, and press your shift button. Holding the shift button, click that cell. Immediately, the whole column would be selected. This is the best way to select a column which is containing the non-contiguous data over there, and it will be easy for you to operate also. So no line item will be missing from the range, and the formula will be applicable for the entire data set. Now, having said this, go for Control G, G for gamma, G for go to. There we have a tab called Special. Go for that. In Data Clean 1, we have already discussed. There's an option called blanks. Click on that and click OK. And just watch your screen. Don't do anything. What you see from the entire column, only those blank cells are alone in selection. And having said this, leave your mouse, leave your touchpad, immediately type equal to, and just take the previous cell, click the previous one and hit Control Enter. So can you see now the entire stored column, whatever the city names we had, is it being populated over there in the blank cells? And now this is ready for next level. As we discussed, vanilla powder to be filtered out. Right click on vanilla powder, filter, selected by cell value. So this is how people, whenever you download the data from SAP or ERP or any other SAP versions or ERP versions or ERP reports of Tally, something you are exporting, you may face this kind of challenges. Not to be panic. With 1 minute, you can make the data ready for next level.
So can you just repeat it because I'm not getting it for the whole values?
Okay.
I did. I went to the last cell. I pressed Shift.
Did you select the whole column? When you press Shift and last cell, did you select the whole column? Is it getting selected the whole column?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Then Control G. Special. Blanks. Okay. Now all the blank cells are alone visible as if it is selected.
Yes.
Then leave your mouse, leave your touchpad. Just type equal to. It will start typing in the first blank cell.
Yes.
Then just refer to the previous cell. Click the previous cell, above
Yes.
cell, one cell above, and hit Control Enter.
Yes, sir. Got it.
Now you will be getting that.
Yeah.
And then you apply filter. You will be getting all the filter data also available along with the store detail. So those who have done, please do a hands-on practice in dataset number 2. Same column G also you need to fill up the same activities to do and confirm in the chat box once it is done.
So what's a way of selecting Shift and then upwards? Is it up arrow? Correct.
No. Shift and just click that last cell. Keep the cursor in the first cell of the column. Then take the cursor with the scroll bar down. And once you see the last cell is visible, then holding the shift button, click the last cell.
Got it.
Yeah. All right. So the data fill, whatever the task we do, people, I believe everybody is clear with that. Now we'll proceed to our next sheet, naming called sorting. Okay. So let me take you through the data, what we have with us first. Suppose say my boss asked me, Pravas, get me the entire employee related records. So I gave a respective T code. I could generate a record of 10,000 line items over here. So how the data comes up with like department wise data is there, name of the employees is available, date of joining those employees and how much salary they draw, that complete picture is there. But looking at the data in this format, my boss is not happy. And what he's expecting was why don't you arrange the data based on the department? Now, why he's so particular about the department? Let's go and check it out. So what is the first department we have? Finance. Next, admin. Third, human resource. Fourth, again, finance. So if you look at what you have understood, my data is being there, but department names as it is jumbled, it is shuffled over here, and that's why he's not happy. So he's expecting each and every data group together at one place and showcase the result. Well, so that is what we call it as sorting of our data. We need to arrange our data, and data arrangement is going to happen depending upon the data type. So there are three different types of sorting options we have. If you have numbers in place, smallest to largest, largest to smallest. If you have alphabets in place, A to Z or Z to A. If you have date in place, then we can go for our oldest to newest or newest to oldest. Now, sorting. We know there are three different locations you will be having the sorting. What is that? If you go to your home tab, there is a ready-made option, sort and filter. Excuse me. And in that sort and filter, you have an option called custom sort. This is location number one. Else, we can go to our data menu. We have option over here called sorting also as well. This is location number two. Else, we can right click on the data. We can have option called sort and custom sort as well. So whichever it is comfortable for you, you can go for it. But if you ask me, Prabhas, what would be your best recommendation? I would always prefer to work with keyboard shortcut. So Alt DS is called data sorting. Okay. So keep your cursor inside the data set. Alt DS one by one. Do you get sorting dialog box on the screen? Kindly confirm with the keyboard shortcut. Now, as boss was demanding, sort by department. Order no need to change. Click OK. So with immediate effect, you'll be finding each and every department wise data will be grouped together and it will display the information.
So we need to select the data first, correct?
Yes.
After
yes.
that, apply the RTF, correct?
Alt DS one by one.
Okay.
So department wise data is grouped together now. But still my boss is not happy. Why? So now you tell me, because you are working with your real-time data and most of the people there from the human capital management or people management. So in this data set, why my audience is not happy, why my boss is not happy, though I have presented in this format.
We would want to make sense of this data in terms of date of joining and salary, make some sense out of it. That's what I can assume.
Okay. Okay. So we have got maximum 4 columns. It is pretty easy to find out. So after department, what is that column people are more focused at, or they will be more interested to work with?
Salary.
Salary. So focus on that. So each and every department wise, though we have sorted our data, but the problem is my boss focus has gone to the salary column. And when he's watching the data, he's not getting some clarity. And what he's expecting that Prabhas, you have given me the department wise data, no doubt. But I want to see each and every department wise, whatever the highest salary in the top and the lowest one, it should be in the bottom. So this is what he's expecting. And this is what we call it as multi-layer sorting or multi-label sorting. So how to do that multi-layer sorting? Just see. Select your data and go for what is the shortcut for sorting? Alt DS. Already department-wise sorting has happened. You don't need to do any kind of changes on that. Just click this add label. You can see in the top left corner, a blank layer is going to be generated over here, and go for the drop down and choose the option called salary. Salary, whatever data it is holding, numerical value. What should be the order? Smallest to largest or largest to smallest. What my people are expecting? Largest to smallest. So when I go and choose largest to smallest or over here, immediately click OK. You can see the beauty. Each and every department wise, the highest salary, is it appearing in the top, and the lowest one, is it appearing in the bottom? Check it out. So this is called our multi-layer sorting. Right? Now it is more expressive. What's it? So any
So when
questions?
I
Anybody?
add a level,
Mhm.
I can see the actual values. So I will use the salary then, correct?
Actual values, I did not get you.
Meaning, instead of okay, I'm not getting this salary. I'm getting the values like accounting, MICA.
Because just check. Did you did you get this enabled? My data has headers. Is this on or is this grayed out?
It is on.
On. Fine. Then you have missed out the header to select. You should have selected along with the header. Starting from department, you should have selected. You should not miss the header. Is it working?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So all clear people, what we did? Any questions? Any queries? Now, is there anything new that you did not know and now you come to know, or you have learned something new in this exercise, whatever we discussed?
Learned a
I have
lot
a
of
question.
things.
Mm-hmm.
So when we are taking the second one, say administration, so we will be selecting, we won't be having the headers in that case.
Why you are going to select? Because you are going to select the entire data set. You are not going to select phase by phase. You
Okay.
have to select them from the beginning, starting from department to end. You
Okay.
will not be selecting the department by department. You have to select.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. Yes, my question was very simple. Is there anything new you learned in this 3 minutes of exercise?
The Alt DS command is very helpful. This is something new, apart
Okay.
from the filtering part
Okay.
that we
Great.
usually use.
Fine. So you got to know something. So my objective is achieved. Now, despite of knowing that fact that everyone is aware of sorting, still I took 3 minutes of yours quality time for telling you the things which you are already aware of. Then do you think that it's a value addition to your knowledge? Alt DS is a simple keyboard shortcut. 1 second is over. I could have completed this. I could have gone to the another topic which you are never aware of. I could have taken that. But why I'm spending time over here? Though you know all these things, you know how to write sorting, you know how to go for multiple sortings, you know all these things, but still I took this much of time. Well, now I would be putting in a different way. Stay focused. Though we did all these things as our people demand or as our audience is expecting everything we did, but still audience is not happy watching the same. Why? Yes, anybody? We did not do anything wrong. And whatever audience is demanding, that only we are presenting, but still audience is not happy. Yes, Mukesh, what's your opinion? Why audience is not happy?
So maybe because we repeated the same step a number of times.
Okay, you repeated the same steps. And then what is your opinion? How to overcome that or how to give a different feeling over there? You think about it. I'll come back to you later in 2 minutes
Okay.
time. So in this case, people, what we did, okay, sorting is anybody's job. Anybody can do that. And audience is aware of all these things and they have also done so many times. So if anybody can do the job and you are also doing the same, do you think that you are going to create an impact in the audience mind? Or do you believe that it's a value addition to the work? Or do you believe that your presentation is going to stand out of the crowd? How audience is going to be happy? When you present something different, when your report is having more add-on, where your presentation is something different, then only people will be happy. Now think about it. I am not asking something new. Whatever you have learned since day one, what else you could have done so that people would be more happy? Now tell me.
Maybe can give additional cell colors and all.
Colors, what kind of colors? And colors, what kind of colors you can use and what that color denotes or represents, that also telling clearly.
Like random color set of colors.
Some set of colors doesn't make any sense. Okay, you want
Yeah,
to
it will
say
not, but
you would
look
like
and
to
feel it will
apply.
be.
Yeah. So you want to say that we could have gone for table formatting as we discussed format as table to make it presentable. You mean to say that?
Yeah, presentable, correct.
Okay, okay. That's a good one. I consider.
Cell styling and
Yeah.
format table.
So like this, what we discussed in our day one, we could have presented something like this. Correct?
Control.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Now, anything else, anybody?
Maybe we could have denoted INR or the rupee symbols.
Okay, that we know. Select Control Shift 4.
Maybe additionally we can do here is like budgeting. Means accounts department, this much is the total budget, and
Okay, so you want to make a bucket of data like department wise, how much salary goes. So department wise salary, you want to make a total of that. Okay,
total,
that can,
yeah.
no problem. That we could do. Yes, we could have done that as a value addition. What else? Do you think that we could add one more column stating that people's experience in the organization? We have got a date of joining. Can we go and add a new column naming called years of experience or experience in bracket years? Do you think it's a value addition to the work? What say? This is what something we learned,
Yes,
right? So how to get it? How to get this?
date diff.
Date div, then
Select the date of joining, then
right,
today, comma today.
comma today. What do we want in years, right? So
Yeah,
within two,
why we can, okay,
just
like
one,
this
just
also,
one,
capital Y,
just one.
correct.
No, small also no problem. It will work. Don't worry. So once we go for it, we got 21. The same we can apply to the others also. This will be giving a value addition to the data. Don't you think it will be a value addition to our work? So just don't confine the limit what people ask. If you believe something I can give more over here, and that will be a value addition to my work or making my data more informative, or you can make it your presentation to the next level, go for it. Don't wait. Somebody should demand it and then you go for it. Okay. So this is how we have developed the practice, and you should keep practicing about all these things. You should look your data in that way because you are the right person. You are dealing with your data in, day out, and you know how to make it better. So I believe everybody's clear what we have discussed so far, right? Now, all these things is needed. Whatever we discuss, people, all these things is needed over here. So now I am going to take you through why people are not happy, because what we did is anybody's job. No doubt, this is the value addition we learned, we can apply. That's a value addition. Okay. But now I'm going to tell you something, how to make your data presentation different from others so that people will be happy watching the same and your presentation will stand out of the crowd. Okay, let's do that. Go to our dataset number 2, which is there towards your right side, and Control A, select your data, and then go for your sorting. What is the shortcut?
Alt
Alt
DS.
D Yes. Now sort by, no more by department, go for by salary, sort by salary. And then choose the order largest to smallest. Mhm. And then click OK. So this is the first action. Data must be sorted based on the salary with the order largest to smallest. Step 1, task is completed. Step 2, having the selection with the data completely, including the header, go to our home tab. Yesterday we discussed about something called format as table. So go for it, format as table from the home tab. And I told you always take light or medium, do not take the dark option. Now, why I have asked you not to take the dark option? Anybody?
It
File
strains the
size.
eyes, is what I can sense.
File size. Very good, Mukesh. The more the dark colors, again, file size will be more. That is the only reason why we have discussed not to opt the dark options. Well, now coming back to over here, format as table, if you take any medium out of this and if you click on it, it will take you to a dialog box and click OK. And you will be finding a beautiful formatting will be applied over here. So step 2 is done. Just the application of format as table, it is happened over here. Now, when you keep your cursor inside the dataset anywhere, you will be finding in your ribbon menu extreme right, there will be a design and option depends again on the version. Okay. And in that table
We just
design and
lost you there a minute. We just lost.
So we yeah.
lost where in which we
No, no.
completed.
We couldn't hear you. We had a moment
So
we
you
couldn't hear
said
you.
that put a cursor on your data. That's
Right.
after that we sort of.
Yeah. Keeping the cursor in the did you apply the format as table option that was audible?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
That
Now
was done.
keeping the cursor in the table, if you look at your ribbon menu options in the extreme right, do you see an option called table design or design depending upon the version of Microsoft Excel?
Hmm.
Yes.
And within that, do you see an option called filter button? Checkbox is enabled.
Yes.
That checkbox you deactivate. And immediately from your data set, all the filter buttons also disappear immediately. Now, keep your cursor above to the date of joining cell, and there you name it as total. There you name it as total. If necessary, you believe you can little bit customize the same. You can make the colorful applications over there. Up to you. All right. Now, next to total, keep your cursor and type a formula naming called subtotal. It's a very beautiful formula, but bit peculiar also. Why it is peculiar? Because this formula has got some more formulas again. Some count, average, you could see all these things. So sum, if you look at, there is a formula available, and what is the number assigned to it?
9.
So that you can type it manually, or you can double click on sum and it will be embedded in the formula box accordingly. Now sum we have declared where to apply, that also we need to define. So I have to define 9 comma and keep the cursor in the first salary and then select the rest. Control Shift down arrow key and hit enter. You will be getting a total of 29,11,878. So kindly confirm all these things have been done. Now, once you have done with this over here, keep your
So can
cursor. Yeah.
So can you just once more? After I put subtotal and 9, what should I
Yeah.
do? Control Shift and the
No, no,
table.
no.
That's it.
No, no, no. Subtotal, formula open, 9, comma. Did you define the entire salary range?
Not yet. Yeah.
So keep the cursor in the first value of salary column and select the rest. Control Shift down arrow key and hit enter.
Okay.
And this will be giving a total of 29 lakhs
Why are we not
11,878.
use sum? Why are we not using the sum formula for this?
Okay, that's a good question. See, now the moment I go for over here sum formula, I'm just taking it over here. Just see. This is our sum equal to sum. If I go for it, how much it is? 1,89,753. You can see that. Yeah. Just watch my screen. No need to
Yes.
try. Just watch my screen.
Yes.
Now, if I'm
Yes.
looking for vanilla powder, if I'm looking for vanilla powder, and if I filter it over here by cell value, is it changing?
No.
How much is the value? 15069, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it is showing the same entire column range total. But instead of sum, if I would have gone for the subtotal sum over here, right? And comma, taking the range over here and populate it. And tomorrow, if I go for a filter, vanilla powder filter cell value, can you see what is happening?
Mm-hmm.
It is changing. So it is applicable only for the data which is visible on the screen. So this formula will be helpful whenever you create a dashboard. That's why I'm taking this formula over here itself. And
Okay.
tomorrow, when I go and filter any department data, that will be applicable only for that department total,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Okay. Okay. Thank you
That's
so
why,
much.
yeah,
Thank you.
no problem. That's why we have taken subtotal. So rather going for a regular sum, you can go for a subtotal sum. Fine. So I believe everyone is done up to this level. Now keep your cursor anywhere in the data set and go to the same table design or design, whatever it is showing in front of your screen as an extreme right ribbon tab. And there you see an option called insert slicer. Able to see everybody? Insert slicer. So when you go for that insert slicer option, if you click, then immediately a dialog box is going to appear where you could see the department checkbox is not enabled. So please enable department checkbox and click OK. So a dialog box will appear that you can hold it and drag it like this and populate over here. That's it. Now see the beauty. Over here, when I go and apply this, suppose my boss asks me, Pravas, please show me the data of HR. So I'll click human resource. The entire HR records will be displayed. What is the total salary in HR? You can see in the top. What is the highest salary in HR? You can see in the first row item. What is the lowest salary in HR? You can see the last or bottom item over here. Now, if my boss is asking, show me admin records, I click admin, all the admin records is visible. If he asks me, show me admin and HR as well. So holding the control button, click HR as well. You can see both the department records will be available. So can you see that things have become more dynamic? Same thing we are doing. We are sorting the data. We are giving the department wise total salary. We are presenting it with more dynamic way. Now you just imagine if you are there in your audience site or audience choose, which one you prefer to see? Option one or option two?
Option
I'm
2.
not able to get that slicer.
Could you please share your screen? Let me have a look. What is the state of yours? Hmm. Keep the cursor in the table. In the table, you're outside. That's why. Now go to design, the last tab, insert slicer towards the left. Yes. Now department. Okay. Department, take it to the right. Hold it and take it to the right. Now operate any department, click. Do you see? Only that department data. So,
Thank you.
welcome, no problem. So this is how people over here, when you present it in this format, people will love to see. And how and what is exactly stealing the entire show, this slicer, this is stealing the show. This is making your visual filter buttons and making it more dynamic. And once your data presentation work is over, if you want to restore your data, in the top right corner, you see a clear filter button. You can click upon that and that data will be restored. Then question you can ask me, because how it is going to steal the show? It's a simple slicer. I have seen people using it. Yes, people have the belief slicer can be used only if you have a pivot table. But where did you use the slicer now? In a normal set of data. But how did you do this? Because we converted our data into table. So now can you realize, I told you, if you convert your data into table, there are a lot of advantages you are going to gain. So this is again one more advantage. If you convert your data into table, you can apply to a slicer. Hope it is clear what we discussed. Any doubt, any queries from anybody?
So just to reconfirm, if the subtotal thing we would not have added and we would have just gone by that filter option that yesterday we were doing, so slicer would not have been working for the total.
No. Slicer is working
No, no, no,
because
no,
of
no, no. This the total that is changing real time. It will not change.
it will not change. It will not change. If you go for a regular sum formula, it will not change. You have to go for subtotal only.
Some formula for that formatted table one that we were doing in the bottommost
That will be working. That will be
row.
some formula for formatted table will be giving the real-time effect.
Okay.
If
Sir,
you have
can we do it, sir? Now in the bottommost, if we check box the total call option.
don't go for bottom. Don't go for bottom. I'll take you through. See, if I go for over here sum also. Okay. Now I'll be taking this data over here in this format. When I go for it, the formula it is taking for the entire table. Can you see that? Now,
Yes.
if I go for customer support, what will be happening here? Since I have taken over here, it is appearing over here. Okay. Now this formula, I am taking it separately. But yesterday, if you remember the total, how did you achieve that? We go to
Yes.
table design, we have gone for a total row, then we have got
Yes.
over here. Now
Yes.
here why I cannot apply, because every department doesn't have the certain row items, the standard row items. Customer support may be 10, admin may be 20, finance may be 50.
Okay.
So I cannot go and get exactly in the bottom immediately.
And okay. Okay. Understood.
That's the reason why we always prefer to create a dashboard having the total in the top. We don't go in the bottom because number of records may not be similar for all the variables. If it is a department or a customer data, vendor data, may not be the records the same. That's why it is better to create the total, count, sum, anything in the top.
Okay. And
Yeah.
so can we represent this total and this number in 3D form so it will look like more realistic?
Oh, you can see 3D is nothing but to define to a cell reference. You can do that. You can create a subtotal formula over here. You can map it to something and you can do that. It's not a problem. You can do that. Now take a look. Suppose this is my cell. Okay. I put it across. Let it be here itself. So this total, I would like to take it over here, insert, going for, since you have asked me, I'm covering that also, no issues. So I'll be taking it over here. Okay. Making it over here. I'll go for equal to this cell. Sorry. This is what I remove it. I'll go for over here equal to this cell. I'll put it. Now this is populating. Can you see that? whatever it is, the formula based result. And I can increase the format over here, increase the over here. This is my format. And I put it across over here, something say white color. Background is something, so text color should be white. A little bit formatting, like some high definition glossy buttons, I can take it and I presented it. This one, I will do one thing. I will make the color as white. So nobody will be knowing that I am relating to this cell. And this one, I'll be covering it over here. Now, whenever I go and change this, can you see? Looks good. See, these all are your own creativity and innovation styles, what you are putting across, nothing else.
So why are you putting the dollar sign there? We are not moving anywhere. We are not, the reference to only one cell there.
No, I did not do that. This is the default option. When you connect to a cell, to a shape, it will it will take automatically like this. I'm not defining any kind of dollar symbol when I connect it to this cell. See, I'll go and delete everything again. What I did, I selected this shape. I went to my formula bar. I type equal to, I refer to this cell. It automatically takes. I'm not defining that.
Okay.
Hope Mukesh clear? Answers your query?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, people. So restore your data. And this is the story of our sorting sheet we did. And we have understood how to make our data more presentable and always try to give more add-on to the data and try to do it different because data remains the same. Only your presentation techniques makes you different. Okay. So save all your workbooks. With this, we'll go for a short break of 15 minutes. In my system, it is 4:30. Dot 4:55. Again, we'll catch up. Have a brisk and come back soon. We'll discuss the rest. So please ensure you are here by 4:45 p.m.
Sure.
I believe everybody's back. Could you please respond in the chat box? Why for yes?
Yes.
Okay. Fine then. So before break, we had discussed about people regarding the data arrangements and how to combine multiple formulas, functions over here, all these things. Then I will proceed to our next sheet is called multi-DB filter, multi-database filter, we call it as. Okay. So let me take you through the data, what we have with us first. We have got two units data. Suppose say the organization where we are working with, we have a plant, suppose say in over here. One is in Chennai and the other one is in, suppose say, Pune. Now this is what two units data of same concern, no doubt. And these are what the region wise, these are the products we have sold to the customers last 4 months. This is the revenue we have made. Now, what my boss is saying that from us, get me this from Chennai. I want to know only Karnataka related records from Chennai plant data, only Karnataka related records from Pune plant data, only April month records my boss wants to see. So in this case, if I want to present my data, of course, we know we have to use filter. Now, if I go to my Chennai data and I apply filter on Karnataka over here, no doubt my Karnataka related records will display. And similarly, if I go to my Pune plant data and I choose April month records and filter over here by cell value, what happens? When I go to Pune, no doubt Pune data, April month records is filtered out, but what is the status in Chennai data? The filter disappears. So what you have understood from this, that if you have multiple data sets, you can apply filter only with one data sets because filter itself is a toggle key. First impressions to activate filter, second impressions to deactivate filter. So when you go to the next data set and you try to filter it out, the existing filter goes off. So having said this, if you go and present the data, it is not happening. And the person, suppose say my boss, when I convey this message, sir, it is not possible. He's saying, Pravas, if you do not know, please learn and come and talk to me. Don't tell that it's not possible. So if this is the situation, then how to deal with? So the objective is whenever you have multiple data sets in one interface, how to showcase multiple information over there at once. So how to apply multiple filter with multiple data sets. So just see the beauty. As long as we keep our data in this format, if you try to apply filter, this is not happening. We have understood. So we are going to just play a simple trick. Start working with me. Select your Chennai data, the first set of data. Convert your data into table by hitting Control T, T for Tango, T for table. So when you press Control T, this will be taking to a dialog box and click OK. So you got your Chennai data converted into table. And we know we can go to our region filter and choose search box Karnataka. So Chennai data is filtered, no doubt. Now Pune plant, which month data boss is expecting? April. Simple, go to April, right click, filter, selected by cell value. Done. See the beauty. 5 minutes back, we are unable to apply filter with both the data sets. But by simply just playing a role of converting the data into table, even though we have got multiple data sets also, we could apply filter. So that's what the beauty. And trust me, this is going to help you a lot whenever you showcase multiple customers data or multiple units data, multiple vendors data, or multiple products related records, anything you want to display, you can showcase in this format. So kindly confirm multi-DB filter, the action, whatever we discussed, it's clear, working for you. If at all any doubt is there, please do let me know. Fine then. So let's go to our next sheet is about called data visualization. So since day one, we have seen a lot, many more formula, functions, applications to bring the data in accurate format. Then we have dealt with various formats. We have seen how to make our data informative with different calculations. We have also seen how to make our data presentable by converting the data into table and seeing the various options or advantages of format as table options. We have seen some data cleansing actions, how to clean our data, bring it ready for the next level. We have also seen how to analyze, how to use the data analytical tool like GoalSeek over there. And we have also seen how to combine multiple options like some formula functions, converting the data into table, applying the sorting over there, and just adding a flavor of slicer to make it visually able to filter the data, all these things we have seen. So certain areas we have touched based upon that. Right. So now we are going to look into a separate area called data visualization. Now the question is why we need to visualize our data. Yes. Anybody?
To
What is the
understand easier.
Better
yeah?
decision making based on the presentation.
So presentation. So presentation point of view, visualization is necessary. Is
And
that you
decision making.
decision making? By looking at the numbers, you can't make a decision.
It gives us a value. Uh, how do I put it? Mm. Say, for example, like we showed number in the other subtotal. So we can at a glance see what is the total value for that particular, say Karnataka or Pune. So that kind of formatting, if it is highlighted, makes for better decision making,
Okay.
faster.
Okay. Fine. Any other opinion? Geeta is saying no need to explain more, easy to understand. Very good. Any other opinion? Yes, Ritu, multi-DB is over. I'm sorry, you came late.
Okay, sir. No problem.
Don't worry, at the end of the session, you stay back, I'll help you out. It's a maximum 2 minutes work. Well, so we are discussing about the data visualization part. Fine. So people are having different opinion, Ritu. So why we need to visualize our data? That is what we are discussing with. If you have any opinion, you please share it across. Yes, Mukesh, you have something you are about to say or about to write something?
I think it is mostly to do with presentation, data visualization, and coming up with the. And it depends on what kind of information you want to pick up from. Depends on that as well.
Okay, that's what we are discussing. Depends upon the information, no doubt. But
Correct.
why visualization is necessary? My question is simple over here. Without that, can't we express our data?
Pictures are
So
more
I don't
appealing.
know. It may not be. It is no. I think because see, everybody may not be a very number-oriented people. They might be. So if you look at the learning styles, people sometimes capture more if it is visualized in with different colors and presentation and everything. I mean, I know I might be off track on this, but that could be one of the reasons.
Okay. So in one line, if you say or discuss, we all are in the equal pitch saying that a picture is 1,000 times better than your boring numbers. That's why if you see in our roads or statues or wherever you go, do you see any ads only with the text, only with the sentence, only with the paragraphs? Any advertisement? Have you ever seen only text, nothing else? Ever seen such kind of ads? The roadside hoardings, or if you see any TV advertisements, anything. Along with the text, what we have all the time, the images, the pictures, the visuals, because people are more interested to see, and that grabs the audience attentions as well. And as I told you in day one, whatever we are preparing in Excel, this is not meant for us. It is meant for the audience. So audience is more focused, audience is more interested seeing your visuals. The reason is nowadays people don't have time. Maybe numbers would be very, very essential. We know for us it may be essential for analysis, but when it goes to the next level, say my management people, my stakeholders, my customer, my vendor, they don't have time to go through the way I'm presenting the things. So they want a simple and crisp presentation, which will be telling the entire story to the people. And that's the better version of your data is nothing but the visuals. So nowadays, visuals are playing a great role, and technically that is called nothing but the infographic presentations of your data in Excel. So if you look at any of the Big Four's reports, or if you go through the McKinsey and Co reports, Bain and Company reports, the Boston Consulting Group's reports, like the major firms where the rest of the globe follow them, their styles, their patterns, their way of presenting the data. If you look at their presentations, you will be finding always filled with the visuals. So visuals are very, very essential to tell a better story with no time. This is what a simple one-line answer I would like to say. But now, the next question again, it comes followed by the first one is when it comes to visual, what is the first thing it comes to our mind? Is it the charts and graphs? Yes. Do you agree?
Yes.
Right. So this is what anybody's belief system says that people, it's not only you, me, anywhere. You go to the corporate, they believe that, okay, if it is a visual based, we have to present our data in the format of a graphic or charts. Not necessary. Not necessary that you should depend upon a charts and graphs to make a visual. The reason is charts and graphs, it always occupies a lot of space. So nowadays people are more concerned about the file space as well. So without increasing the file space or file size, how to add a visual over there in the data and make a beautiful story that we are going to discuss. So let's focus on our data first. Situation one. Suppose say my boss asked me, Prabhas, whatever the products we have sold to our customers during the year, could you please make me a report? So I just opened all the Excel file, consolidated. This is the final summary. I have made it. No doubt about it. Now, this is what anybody can do. It's not only me, something extraordinary activity I did. So now the question is how to make it even more better and how to add a visual so that this boring numbers, it will tell a beautiful story to my audience. So what you can do, people, start working with me. Keep your cursor next to USD column and define a cell naming called visual and expand the column a bit and select your visual column range the way I have selected and immediately type equal to, take the reference from the left that is called USD column and hit Control Enter. So you could have copied and pasted, but why did I take a long route like this? This is a one-time action. Tomorrow, when I change my USD column data, I don't need to do again a copy paste in the visual. Since it is formula driven, it will automatically get updated. So this is the reason why we have gone for this operation. So kindly confirm your data is ready. Now, once our
So
data is ready,
after copying, you're doing a shift enter, right?
no, control enter, not shift
Control.
enter.
Okay.
I'm not copying. See, the data visual column, how we have created, after selecting the visual column like this, leave your mouse, leave your touchpad, equal to, take the reference from the left, and then control enter.
Okay.
Yeah. So once you are done with this, selecting the visual column data people, go to our home tab. There's an option called conditional formatting. Okay. And within conditional formatting, we have a very beautiful feature naming called data bars. And in this data bar style, if you look at, there are two categories it opens up broadly naming called gradient fill and solid fill. So you can take any style, whichever you like the most, whichever the color you like the most, but I prefer to go for this light blue data bar. And see the beauty the moment I click over here. What kind of feeling you are getting when you look at my data? Yes, people, keep yourself in the audience shoes. What kind of feeling you are getting?
Easy to read.
More, yeah, more fast we can to know.
Can make out what is that into the story, isn't it? So basically, if you look at more or less, it is giving a feel of a bar chart. Yes or no?
Yes.
But how it is different from a bar chart? Let's have a basic discussion. See, if you prepare a chart out of this, a bar chart out of this, the data will be in one location, the chart will be in another location. But here, the bars are exclusively applied on the cells. Advantage number one. If you prepare a chart out of this data, again, the file size will be heavy. But here, these bars are hardly occupy some space in KBs, like just a character. How much space we are taking? This much of space only. So this is how people, whenever you look at this option and which is having the maximum revenue, you can see category 12, we got the maximum revenue. And from category 4, we got the least revenue. Anybody can make out easily. And 11 also sitting, they can make out. But this is a simple information. Is there available in the conditional formatting? Anybody can do that. So now the time has come how to make our presentation different from others. So what you can do is select your visual column data completely, not the header, only the data points. And any point of time to see the backend rule of conditional formatting, what you can do, people, you can go to the home tab, conditional formatting. We have an option called manage rules. And when you go to this manage rules over here, it will take you to a dialog box where you find the edit rule option is available. Click on that edit rule. And when you go for that edit rule, this is where you can customize the rule. Like if you want to change the color of the bar, you can change this. If you want to choose the fill or border also, you can change from this point. And if you want to set some values or numbers, minimum, maximum, you can also set it across. And one of the beautiful information, what I suggest you to do is there's an option called show bar only. The checkbox is not activated, you see. So this checkbox you activate and then click OK. Again, click OK and see the beauty. Looks good, neat and clean. Those who are interested to see the real-time numbers, they will be focused on the visual column. Those who do not have the time, they can go to the visual column and interpret or make out the story. So kindly confirm all of you are able to do that.
Yes.
Now see the beauty. Since we have done the same in Excel, hardly we need to struggle in PowerPoint. If you need to go to PowerPoint, just go to PowerPoint, copying the data. And here in PowerPoint, you don't need to do anything. Just right click, paste as a image. And when you go for this image option over here, with immediate effect, you'll be getting, okay, this is not showing this. Fine, then no problem. I'll do one thing. So this will be giving a neat and clean look. Even though you try to present it, it will be giving a better version of your data, right? So where it is adding the beauty, this entire information, this kind of high definition colors, the formatting patterns you can't ever get in PowerPoint. So this is what the property of Excel. So if you have done the things better in Excel, hardly need to struggle in PowerPoint. Hope this is clear what we did. Any doubt? Any queries?
Can I add category 1 in that chart?
Here,
Is that
category
possible?
category one.
As part of this chart.
No, because this is the value references you have to put it across. If you want to categories, then again, this category section you can apply this. Suppose I take an example over here. I would like to go for this visuals applications where you go for it. I told you to backstage rule, you have to go for home tab, conditional formatting, and manage rules. So applies to C7 to C18. So C17 to C18. Since this is containing the values, since it is value specific, it is applying over here. Okay. Now suppose say this is what I want to change it. I will be changing to this value. This is not a value actually. This is alphanumeric data. So it cannot consider the value over here. That's the reason why you can do it. Not to a text. It will always depending upon the value, like numerical value.
Yeah, good, but naming
And
the
like
sorry, this is based on this chart is being based on the value. For
right.
example, I have 12 countries in my list.
Mhm.
Whatever the chart which presented the fluctuation values, can I present that country name as part of the chart?
No, you can't add like the charts data labels. What I understood what's your concern, but that kind of data labels options you can't add it over here
Okay.
because this is depending upon the real-time numerical value. Either you can retain the numerical value as we had, so that what you can do in that case, you have to go for this option which you have made it off, like this show bar only. This option we have activated, so you have to deactivate this if you want to showcase the values. So values will be representing over here, and the bars also will be appearable. So if you do not want to dilute the data along with your values, only the bars you want to display, this is what we discussed. You have to do like this, show bar only.
Thanks.
This is only for mere visuals purpose. You can't do anything within that visual like your charts. This is just a pure visuals. Now, if you present your data as it is in this format, again, doesn't play much role because nowadays the audience is having a different level of expectation. When you present your data as it is, nobody prefers to see it. So what audience is expecting? That you should present your data in such a way, it should tell a beautiful story to the people. So how to make it happen? Just say, select your product and USD column completely along with the column headers and go for the data sorting. And when you go for the data sorting, sort by, you go for over here, say USD, and order you choose largest to smallest. And once you choose the same, click OK, a beautiful story turns out. Can you make out? So anybody, whoever is watching the data, he can simply understand that from category 12, we got the maximum revenue, and from category 4, we got the least revenue, right? So small things makes a huge impact, people over there. So this is how we have understood how to present our data by using a visual called data bars time from conditional formatting. Any doubt, any queries, please feel free to ask. Is it working for everyone?
Yes.
Right. Nowadays, if you see any company's dashboards and all, or templates or summary reports, this is filled with this kind of visuals the most. Because charts and graphs doesn't have that much of charm as such. Yes, it is there, but certain specific target audience only they are interested to see your different types of charts. But just to have a mere visual, this is the best option. Without making files as heavy, data execution also will be faster and you can make it presentable. Now, see the beauty of having this kind of presentation is If you look at the data bars, how is the direction? The direction, it is always from left to right. Direction is left to right because all the places the value is positive. Now, suppose say we have a negative value at any point of time. Ideally, what should be the direction? The opposite, right to left. And if you have a negative value, ideally, how do you express it? With what kind of colors? Is it red?
Red.
Right. Just see, if I go for my category one, I make some deliberately, I make some negative values or category three somewhere. -4500, I make it. Can you see? Ready-made inbuilt formatting is there. I don't need to go and spend time for extra efforts over here. So this is how data bar style has a inbuilt options to showcase your data in a beautiful fashion. And wherever it is negative is there to grab the audience attentions, it is also defined into proper format. So this is our situation one. Hope you got a clarity. Any questions?
So this manage rules option can also be taken from conditional formatting, data bars, and then more rules. It will go to the same.
How to select the existing conditional formatting, home tab, conditional formatting, manage
Mhm.
rules from here.
Yeah, that I know, sir, but I was just checking that data bars also has these more rules. Is it the same command, this thing, or is it different?
No, it's the same only. More rules
Same
means
thing.
again in the same rule you want to go and do something different. You
Okay.
want to go, you can do that.
Okay. Okay.
Now, situation one, we got a clarity. Let's go to situation number two. Now let's see what are the other visuals tools we have and how to enrich our data and make it more even presentable. Just see. We have got same product wise USD over here. So do one thing, keep your cursor next to USD column and type visual. Expand the column a bit. And now select your USD column data. Select your USD column data. Not the header, only the data points, ensure about it. And go to our insert menu. If you look at, there is an option, a group called spark lines. And there are three different spark lines in that spark line group. It will be available. Line, column, window loss. Can you see? Selecting the data. Insert sparkline group, and there's an option called column sparkline. I believe everybody is able to access this column sparkline.
So I don't see. I just see the line. I don't see the columns.
No, no, it will be there. Uh, do you see option called 3D map towards your left? If you look at insert, somewhere in the middle, what is that you find? The group name or anything? What is that menu icon you see in the insert? Line, column, window loss. Three different types of spark lines will be there.
Yeah.
So go to the column one. So when you click the column, it will take you to a dialog box asking where is the data? Data is already selected. Now, where is the location? Location, you can choose the visual column first cell. And once you select a visual column first cell, click OK. You can see some kind of visual impact will be there. but it is not so clear. It's not so visible. So what you can do is, along with that cell, select the rest of the cells. Don't drag it. If you drag, the meaning will be different. Please select all the rest of the cells. And what you need to do is, going to the Home tab, there's an option over here. We call it as Merge and Center. So when you go for this Merge and Center, and if you click that, now, can you see? It's giving a feel of a more or less like a column chart. So what is this option about? Well, it is available in Insert, and option name is Spark Lines. And what is the type of spark lines? Is the column spark line. And as I told you, whenever you are presenting the data having the visuals, if you present as it is, people don't like it. So what we need to do, select product and USD and go for data sorting. Sort by USD column, order largest to smallest. And the moment you click OK, you can see a beautiful story turns up. The highest column is nothing but the first category, that is called category 12, the maximum revenue. The lowest one you see at the end, the height is also very less. So that is called category 4 over here. Location, the first cell of the visual column, first cell, Ritu, visual column, first cell. Then along with that cell, rest of the cells you need to select, and Home tab, you have to go for merge.
Sir, please repeat the entire process. I tried, but it's not coming.
Okay, you can share your screen. Let me see.
When I'm going to merge,
Yeah.
it is disabled, the merge options.
Yeah, you can share your screen. Let me have a look. No problem. Don't try there. Don't try there. We are not trying in that data. Towards your left. Left. Situation 2. Visual column, don't type anything. The visual column, you have written something, the data. Delete that data. Yeah. Just select the USD column data only. USD column data only. Yep. Go to insert. Go to column spark line.
It's not showing.
I guess you have not shared the entire screen. You have shared the window. That's what I told you yesterday, Mukesh. When you are sharing, please share your entire screen or desktop. If you share only some specific window, dialog box launchers will be missing. I can't see your Sparkline box. Perfect. Now go to insert, Sparkline, that is column. Then range already selected. Location, you have to select the visual column first cell. In visual column first cell, yeah, click OK. And then along with that cell, select the rest of the cells towards down. And then merge, Home tab, and go for merge and center. Yeah, now expand the column. Right. And select your product and USD column both completely, including the header. Then data sorting. Sort by USD. Order largest to smallest. Right. All right, so I believe everybody has got the same flavor of our sparklines and more or less how to give a feel of a column sparkline or column chart over here, looking at the data. And then when you are presenting the same to the people, people will also be happy. You are presenting the data in a story format. So this is one more visual. We got the understanding. Now, once we have made it, definitely you would be having some expectation from us. Can we add the respective values in the columns itself? No. That is again, you have the privilege in the charts only, not in this kind of visuals. Because Microsoft is also very clever. If you get all these flavors in this, nobody is going to give any importance to the charts. People will completely ignore this. That's why Microsoft has snatched all these rights. It retains only the visuals purpose. You can use it. But yes, one thing you can do, you can enrich your visuals in one aspect, saying that the highest column, if you see the maximum revenue, whichever the product or category it is making us, you can turn the same into green, and the lowest one you can turn into red. How? Select your visual, whatever you have. Can you see in your extreme right of the ribbon, you have got a tab activated, naming called Design, Tools, Options, or Sparkline? Name might be different. Just see. Sparkline, Tools, Design, Options, anything? Is it there? And in this, do you see options over here called Sparkline color and I'm going with full screen. Just see if you're feeling a bit different over here. Selecting the visual, going to the last tab, two options are there, sparkline color, marker color. Here I'm going to go marker color. High point I can choose as green. And again marker color, low point I can choose as red. So these things you can do from this sparkline tab. Hope you are getting the same, people. Now, see the beauty again. You have presented all these things. Now, if you look at all the columns, how the directions are from the axis, it always goes up because the value is positive in all the cases. What if you have a negative? Of course, it has to go below to the axis. If it is negative, what should be the color of that particular column? Should be red. So if I go to my category 3 and I change some the value to something negative, say 4500, can you see? With immediate effect, it will throw the result and the column will be appearing below to the axis. So this is how people, this situation too, we have discussed and we have come to know how to add this kind of visuals and make a beautiful story along with your boring numbers. If you have any questions, do ask me, please. If it is done, kindly leave a confirmation message in the chat box. So situation 2, we have understood. Now we'll proceed to our situation 3. So when you have a historical data, like when you are giving a comparison of yesteryear to the current year or previous year to the current year, if you have some historical data, then how to deal with the same, how to make it presentable, we are going to discuss over here. All right. So let's go for a discussion upon the same. We have got same products of 12 and 2019, 2020 data we have. Keep your cursor next to 2020 and insert a column. Alt IC to repeat the last action, F4. Now, next to 2020, keep your cursor and name the column as growth. So what should be the formula in the growth column? Basic mathematics, anybody?
Simple addition of 19 and 20 here.
No. Growth, how can be addition? Can be
Sorry.
2020 minus
Sorry.
2020.
Minus. Sorry.
So 2020 minus 2019 result, you can go for it. Control Enter. So growth is ready. Now go for another column, naming called over here visual. And select your visual column range equal to, take the data on the left, Control Enter. So once your growth and visual ready, do let me know. Now, once your data is ready, people, select the visual column data only, not the header, only the data, and go to Home tab. Same conditional formatting, you'll be finding one more beautiful option called icon sets. Okay. So when you navigate, it opens with four broad categories like directional, shapes, indicators, and ratings. Depending upon your data, you can choose whichever you find it is more suitable for the data presentations. You can take a call about it. There is no hard and fast rule. But yes, if you ask my recommendation, Pravas, you must be dealing with so many data. And can you give me your best recommendation on this? Yes. If you are more working with the project related activities, people, you can go for shapes and indicators. That will be playing a very great role. If you're more with the text related data, like you are working with your balance scorecard template being HR or assessment matrix, feedback forms or ratings or rankings, anywhere you'll give the ranking like good, bad, average, poor, excellent, yes, no, maybe. If such kind of more or less in the text side heavily you are working with, go for this kind of ratings option. If you are working more into the sales or marketing or where the numbers you are emphasizing more into accounts, finance, production, consumption stores, anywhere, you can use the directional keys options over there. But there is no such kind of hard and fast rule. Whichever you like the most, you can take a call. So now let us go for the first one, the directional keys, the three different arrow keys. Let's go for that. Now, can you see a beautiful icon set applied over here? All right. So what is the meaning by the green color up arrow key? Can anybody explain me that?
That's the
Growth.
growth.
Growth of what?
Previous month compared to previous month.
Compared to the previous month, previous year, current year
Previous year.
data is there is a
Higher the
surplus.
number, it is green, upper green. Medium range is yellow, sidewise. Maybe
Now,
some
whether there is a
range
growth happening
predefined.
from 2019 to 2020. If it is
Mhm.
not, then it is stable, then it is a yellow. And if it is going down, then it is a red.
So
If they
this
are
one,
assuming this.
how it is going to be stable?
Or we
Green.
say that there is no change.
How come there is no change? There is a change. Green color, you said me immediately compared to last year, this year increasing. Red color, you said immediately compared to last year, this year decreasing. But when it comes to the yellow color, now we are struck. Can you make out what exactly it is doing? So what is happening? Rather giving an information to the audience, it is confusing them. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So if audience asks this kind of question, we are blank. Can we state anything, whatever we wish? We should be logical, right? So what we have
Yeah.
understood over here,
Yeah.
what
Yeah. Because the positive value also showing yellow, negative value also showing yellow.
true, true, that's what. So it is not giving any kind of explanation living for us that I could at least manage my show. So here, people, what you have understood, the bottom line is this kind of icon set applications as it is, you can't use it. You have to customize. Why we need to customize, how to customize, we'll discuss. Customize why there is a need, we have got the reasons because this is not giving the clarity. So what kind of customization? Like compared to last year, if this year increasing, green color up arrow key. If decreasing, red color down arrow key. If in case there is no change in the values, it remains the same. Suppose last year 4,500, this year also 4,500 revenue we made. It is same. So there should be a yellow color icon over here to showcase there is no growth or degrowth. Did it make sense? Do you all agree? Yes or no? What I'm discussing, is it reaching to you? What I'm saying?
Yes.
Yes.
So how to customize that? Let's have a discussion. So first, select your visual column data, people. Go to Home tab, as I told you, any point of time to see a backend rule of conditional formatting, go to Manage Rules. Then go for Edit Rule. And this is the place where you have to customize. So let's go for the first customization. Just watch my screen. Here, if you look at the data type is showing percent, but our data is there in numbers. So this is the first change you should do to number. Again, second change to number. So this is the first two setup of data changes to happen. Okay. Now, once this is done, you can see the green color up icon, it is showing when value is greater than equal to 0. I don't want greater than equal to 0. It should be only greater than 0. Now, rest of logic, Excel is smart enough to customize automatically. We don't need to break our head. As I told you, there's an option called show icon only. The checkbox is not activated. You can activate. That's it. The moment you click OK, again go for OK and see now the beautiful story is on. So green color up arrow key, wherever it is more compared to last year, it is showing the upward trend in green color. Wherever it is less or the volume is decreasing, it is showing the red color down arrow key. There is no case we have got, there is no change or growth or degrowth. That's why yellow color icon is missing. But if you want to do a test, suppose say category 7 or 6, I have got the same result. There is no growth or degrowth. Can you see the yellow color icon is on? So now it makes more sense, isn't it? So this is how people, you have to
Sir,
present your data.
in the
Mhm,
manage rules, there is
mhm.
a there are figures 67 and 33. What are those?
No, that is a taking the value in of a percentage. So we have to take the data in terms of numbers because our
Hmm.
data is there in numbers. So you have to take the data in numbers.
Okay. Okay. So basically, we are nullifying the orange arrow altogether.
Orange, this is yellow color.
Sorry, yellow color altogether.
Yeah, that is, see, when there is We are what is that we are giving the options. Automatically Excel is making it
Greater than zero.
neutral. We are not doing it. Excel is doing it neutral. Where there is no
Mm-hmm.
less than or greater than means no change in the data
Mm-hmm.
set. It's the same.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it is automatically taking that logic. That's what I told
Okay.
you. Excel is smart enough to understand the logic, it will set it across. You don't need to customize that for rest of two cases.
Right.
All right, so I believe everybody's clear with our third visuals called data set. Our sorry, it's a spelling mistake. Icon sets.
Yes.
So taking different data sets from your place, people keep trying all these things and add some more visuals to the data. And trust me, this is what nowadays more trendy and more popular in the corporate world. Whenever you go and present it, people will love to see to this column and this column. Nobody's interested for all this column because numbers are always very difficult to remember and interpret the story. But when you have the visuals, that will be always be printed, easy to understand, and people can remember that. And the same, if you wish, any point of time there is a need, audience demands, you can carry to PowerPoint and make a beautiful presentations also. And this is what mostly you will be finding, as I told you, the names, the big fours, or McKinsey and Co, Bain and Company, or the Boston Consulting Group, the presentations, the report format filled with all these kind of visuals over there. Fine. Now, once it is done, as I told you, always give what audience wants. So audience wants to see over here in which product we have got the surplus. So now the data is over here scattered. So what you can do is just watch my screen. Compared to this visual, now what we are going to gain over here is we can simply go for sorting the data based on the growth column, go for largest to smallest. And the moment you click, see the beauty. Wherever we are doing good business or making surplus, we are keeping in the top so that to give a positive feeling people and people will be also happy watching the same. And wherever we are not faring well, of course we need to analyze that is the latest, that is a different story, but we are keeping it to the bottom because people are hardly interested to see that. So this is how people we have understood in situation number 3 how to add this visual called icon set and make it more presentable. Now I'm going to take you through the latest trend of our data visualization. Nowadays, if you look at the corporate world reports, one thing has gained more popularity, one add-in called People Graph. I'll show you first what is that about. No need to do anything, just watch my screen. People Graph, okay? See, this kind of reports, it is nowadays gaining more popularity in the industries. So can you see some human capital related or human being related records or HR related records along with the icons? This is adding more value to my data. You would have seen that more of the dashboards or summary reports, tabular reports, something like this. And if you have something, say your revenue related records, how nowadays people prefer to showcase that also I'll show you if the record is available over here. Yeah, I guess they have removed it. Okay, earlier that was there, but they have removed from the images sections. It will be there somewhere in the bottom. Let me have a look once. It's not there. Okay, so this kind of report, what we discussed about, this looks good, neat and clean, presentable, and adding more value also. But when somebody is presenting something like this, the first question it comes to our mind, is it really done in Excel? Yes or no? Have you ever got this kind of question running in your mind, people? When somebody from the Big Four consultant, they comes and presents something like this, something different, very eye-catchy, presentable, looks interesting. The first question it comes to our mind, is it done in Excel? Is it created in Excel? Yes, it is very well created in Excel, and this is nothing but the infographic presentation. Okay, so is it interesting? Would you like to learn?
Yes.
Let's go for it. See, we have got a data. We have got 5 different department or 6 different departments, and how much is the headcounts? We have got the records. Now this data, we are going to present it with this kind of visuals, what I showed you on the screen. So first of all, please confirm that if you go to your insert tab, there is a green color icon called people graph is there like this. Is it there in the insert menu? Check it out. Work with full screen. Open your entire window with full screen. Check in the insert menu. This button, green color, people graph, name it, is there. This option is available only if you are there in 2013 and above versions of Microsoft Excel. And if you are using your Office laptop, sometimes in Office 365, the admin have disabled all these options. So don't worry, we can't help with that. But yes, you can watch my screen, but how it works. So those who are having this, what you can do, people, over here, just keep your cursor in a cell, okay? And then go to that option that is called insert. We'll go for and the people graph. The moment I choose, it will load that application. So I'll go for this update now because I have not updated quite long. And then immediately that is loaded, but it is taking its own data. So how to connect this entire applications to my data? Just have a look at my screen. When you have this kind of application loaded, in the top right corner, there are 2 icons will be there. Naming called one data icon and one is settings. So I'll go to my data icon. Then this is asking me the title. If you want to change it, yes, I can change. So I want to showcase that this is my headcount data. Well, now how to connect this data? There is an option called select your data. And when I go for this is going to demand over here. Please select, okay, 2 columns in your Excel spreadsheet. Okay. So how many columns and rows I will go and select automatically? This will be visible over here that you have selected 6 rows and 2 columns. Now then I have to go for this create data option. And once I do this, automatically the same data will be as it is going to applied and this application is going to be updated over here. Now this is about your human icon. Now suppose say these are my revenue data. These are not my headcount data. I want the dollar back symbol, what I was speaking about at that time. What you can do is in the settings tab, there's an option called shape. And when I go for this shape option over here, I can click, there is a dollar back symbol also there. And if I go for it, this becomes the dollar back symbol. Looks cool, interesting, isn't it? Yeah, Kumar, Bhalu, if, you have to take the help of IT department and you can enable this. This is the Microsoft add-ins, so there is no harm using this. You can tell them this is going to add more beauty to my dashboards, so please enable this. Yeah. All right, so we have seen the different visuals, people. Hope this is clear what we discussed. Those who are having that add-ins activated, you are also able to match or the records you can insert in that application. Anybody needs my support, do let me know.
So I might need your support. I would
Okay.
like to share my screen.
Please do that. No problem. Yeah.
So I have something like this here,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to get this infographic people graph.
Mm-hmm.
I trust all
Right.
and update,
Update.
but it's still not.
Yeah, it is getting loaded because this is the first time you are doing, no, so it will take a bit of time,
Okay.
but it will be loaded. And once it is loaded, it will work fine again.
Okay.
Don't worry.
So
Just
view
go for
source,
reload.
I
Go
will.
for reload. Go for reload. Go for reload. Yeah.
Okay.
So now, no. First, no, that is not that one. The first icon. First icon. Settings that you go for it. First icon. Yes. Now change the title over there. No, here, cancel it. First, cancel it. First, cancel it. Else it will not allow you to select the data.
Yeah. Not able to come out also.
No, you have got, I guess, multiple times it has been embedded because you have tried once, again, we have gone for reloaded. That's why again it appears. No
Yeah.
issues. You select,
Yeah.
you select that, you select that, select
Yeah.
that, and just delete. Select and delete. Just delete. Select and delete. Yeah. Now this is there. This also you can select. Now cancel. Go for cancel. This is also there. Fine. Now start working. Select your data. So we have only one application. Yes, select your data and select starting from HR to production. Don't select the header. Yeah, now create. Now this will
Okay.
be creating over there. And
Yeah.
if you want to change the icon, you have to go to the next button. The two icons in the top right corner. You have to go to the next button.
Okay. I'll do that.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So I believe people, you got some idea about instead of taking our ready-made charts all the time, how to add the visuals and make a better presentations over there and do something different over there at workplace, and people will love to see. Trust me, when you go and present something like this, some of the other people will be asking, how did you do this? That's what we want. People should ask us, how did you create this? How did you do this? That itself is enough. We have reached our target. What we wanted, we got it. All right. So any doubt, any queries in this data visualization sheet of our called CF or data visualization sheet? So let's have a quick recap what we did today. Okay. We started with our data cleaning activities, people. Like when you have the errors and blanks in place, how to do the right treatment for the same by using the go to dialog box over there. Then we have seen when you download the data from SAP or ERP, what are the necessary columns to be checked and how to clean up them. Then finally, how to make it presentable and bring the data into proper format over there. We have seen. Then we have discussed a beautiful AI tool of Microsoft Excel called Flashfill, which is available in 2013 and above of Microsoft versions, and the basic rules of Flashfill that also we discussed, and where to apply flash fill, how it works. We got various examples over there. And where flash fill fails, what are the other options we have? What are the kind of formulas we can use, like our left and find formula, logically how we have expressed over there and extracting our records. Then we have seen when you download the data from SAP or ERP, if you find that any point of time the data is not ready for next level or regular interval, some blank cells is there, how to fill those blank cells with no time over there we have discussed. Then we have seen the boring data as it is, what it to have when you want to arrange it, how to make it more presentable, giving all the add-on flavors like converting the data into table, sorting our data, adding a subtotal function or formula, make it dynamic, and finally connecting the data to a slicer since we have converted the data into table and making visually more appealing over there in our data presentation. Next, we have discussed when you have multiple data sets in one interface or one worksheet, you can convert the data into table by hitting Control T, T for Tango, T for table, and you can apply multiple times filter also over there. Then we have seen the various visualization techniques, starting with our data bars, spark lines. Then we have gone for icon sets, and the last one we saw the add-ins. If you are working in 2013 and above, how to make use of that, the flavor for data presentations purpose, give you a different feeling over there to our ready-made data. So this is about our day two. Any doubt from day one or day two side? Anything?
So the last one will take only the first three top data, is it? Is
No,
that
no,
how
no,
it works?
no. Top. See,
Because
it
it's
will.
giving HR, admin, and finance only.
No.
Production,
See, I'll tell you. See, my screen, please see. The
yeah,
moment I upload, what it happens, it shows me only three. Okay.
yeah, yeah,
And I'll connect this to my data, no doubt. So I'll go and first connect it. So
yeah,
when I go and connect it with selecting my data, I'm able to select all this data.
yeah.
So all this data is coming up. But the problem is now I can't see all these things.
Hmm.
Okay. So what it's saying, the gray color, please extend it to showcase. So if I go and extend it more, along with safety, I am able to show my production also. So little bit, I have to just scroll it. So production data also will be now visible.
Oh, okay, I'll try.
Yeah, you can try. Yes. Any doubt or queries from our day one or day two people? Anybody?
Shall I share my screen if it's okay?
Yeah, yeah. No. Hmm.
Only this is seen.
Right.
Others, yeah,
So you have to select that application. Hold on first. Hold on.
yeah, yeah,
Select that application.
yeah,
So you have not selected that application. Now you have
yeah,
selected.
yeah.
You are using the touchpad or mouse?
I'm using the touchpad.
Touchpad. Just touchpad diagonally. You keep your both of your point and thumb finger in the
Hmm.
center and
Hmm.
diagonally extend it. Diagonally extend it.
This is what you wanted?
See, that is called zoom in, zoom out.
Okay.
If you are using touchpad,
Hmm.
you have to put your thumb and your point finger in the center.
Okay.
And if you diagonally spread, it
Yeah.
will zoom in. If you keep it in both the end diagonally and bring it to the center, it is called
Okay.
zoom out. So that
Okay.
is how you have to control that options.
Okay. Let me try. Let me not
Yeah,
waste your time.
yeah,
Okay. I'll try this in case I'm not. I'll just get back.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Mhm.
I would like to talk to you after class if it's possible.
Yeah, you can stay back, no problem. All right, people. So any doubt, any queries from anybody? If you have, please ask
Sir,
me.
I had